damn lecture and then goddamn lecture.
All right, I forgot to start the screen on. All right, whatever. We're just gonna go for it. We're already on here.
Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
We're live.
Yeah.
We are doing it live. We're alive.
All right, give me a sec.
All right, testing my audio. Testing my audio.
Check it. The
Sounds
audio.
good.
Test,
Adrian sounds good.
test.
Kel sounds good.
Talking.
The thing is, you got this weird background music playing.
I'm watching everyone get a double bogey in Mario Golf.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Ooh, a new hell mode added for Onimusha. Good shit.
All right. Let me go tweet this out.
Yeah, let the guy know on Twitter that you still do podcasts.
It's like the one thing I post originally like a week. Shouts to him though. I mean, I remember it was like a long. Like I would get random posts, like not random posts, like random messages every once in a while about around the campfire. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Now Nexpo's doing a podcast. It comes full circle. We fucked up.
Could have been me.
It could have. All right. Check it.
Or check it to check.
All right. Welcome to the Blue Reach Podcast, episode number 293. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. This is the video game podcast we have every week that goes live on youtube.com/AppleRubies. We talk about video games. We talk about a lot of other stuff too, though. The Pope died. We'll talk about that probably. That would probably be a very in-depth discussion about the no, not at all. Shouts to them, though.
Yeah, shout outs for him living just long enough to lecture JD Vance and then fucking die. Apparently, I looked this up. Apparently, it is also considered very righteous if a holy figure does die on a holiday. So the dude fucking missed out on dying on Easter. Would have been seen
on Weed Day, right?
That's true. He did. He did. Well, no, wait. It wasn't the Weed Day. It was the day after. It was the 21st. Because Weed Day was Easter Day as well this year.
There's all you can eat wings and fries at Buffalo Wild Wings now? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Shit.
Oh, we're in, dude.
Oh, no. Back to Fun Bust the fuck up. How long is this going on for?
They posted on 420.
They're going to understand why Olive Garden quit that shit.
Oh, I think I know where my fat ass is going soon.
Sorry. For all you can eat traditional wings and fries, $25.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
If you want all you can eat chicken nuggets and fries, $19.99.
Oh, that's even better.
I'm gonna mark that down.
Fuck yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, also apparently hasn't like a pope died on the year World War I and World War II started? I think I read that today.
I've seen the average span of someone serving as pope is like 7.5 years or something like that.
As a pope died in 1914. Yeah. Two popes died right before the outbreak of major world wars.
Oh.
Let's go. Three P.
No, it's not, please.
Hey, to all those young guys out there that voted, I'm too old for the draft, brother. Good luck. Got your asses, dude.
So I mean, look at me. They don't want my ass.
When I taught seniors the first time I was teaching them about the draft a little bit, and I was like, "I hope you come back with all your limbs, gentlemen." What the hell? Good luck out there. There's no phones. Good luck with that signal out there. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about random stuff. But how's you guys' week been? Let's talk about that first.
It's been exciting. We had a big event this weekend. On the day of the ganja and on the day of Easter, there was a more important event going on, and that was WrestleMania. Had a watch party for both
God,
nights
dude,
for that.
those stoners had the best day of their life, dude.
They had fucking ham, reefer, and they got to see some big meaty men slapping man meat.
How'd that go for y'all? You guys had fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Night one of Mania was a mixed bag, but consistent. Night two, first half was phenomenal. Second half, I have concerns. I'm sure we'll be talking about that more in a little bit later, though.
So, and I don't know. I know nothing about all this. I heard that it used to be one long day and then it got cut up into two.
Yeah, so most pay-per-views or premium live events, as they're called now, usually are just kind of a one-night thing. It used to be that the average pay-per-view would run for about like 2, maybe 2.5 hours. Nowadays, the average pay-per-view runs for about 4 hours, and WrestleMania runs for 2 nights, 4 hours each. And they're teasing this year that Backlash, I think Elimination Chamber and SummerSlam might also be 2 night events this year.
But what was it before?
feel like-
Sorry, before that,
Oh, never mind.
did I hear it used to be like a one night or one day thing?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Is that it used to be pay-per-views on average were about like 2 hours way back when. Then they slowly became like 4 hour long events.
So they
and then now
quadrupled
we
the
have
length, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, that was good.
I was about to say, I think there's quite a few of the pay-per-views that kind of deserve having that two-nighter status. I feel like the
Yeah.
Rumble is one definitely. They could do 2 nights and Elimination Chamber for sure too. Especially those ones that have specific events that are split between men and women. I feel like that's a really
Yes.
good chance to do that.
Yeah, Rumble is definitely one I would like to see because honestly, I feel like the Rumble should be the main event. So it's kind of exhausting opening with the women's Rumble and then always ending with the men's Rumble. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love a Rumble, but it would be nice to have those split up a little bit. And SummerSlam is basically Summer WrestleMania, so we probably should have that be a 2 night affair.
Yeah, I was hearing it used to
Um,
be exhausting, essentially. When you watch some of this when it was all just crammed into one thing.
Well, it still is. It's because again, it's only gotten longer, and it's not like they reduced the time. It's now the same amount of time, but double because it's 2 nights. So it's not like it split up the time. They just keep
No, I know. I
adding more
felt,
time
but
to it.
pacing wise though, doesn't it feel like crammed versus like spread out, or is it still just Phil?
No. Well, here's the thing. So it used to be the way that booking was done is that one thing I will give Vince credit for, as much as I hate to give that codger any fucking credit in anything, it used to be pay-per-views back when used to actually be like stacked with a lot of different match varieties to them. You would often see like 7 to 8 matches on the card for the night, plus promos and whatnot in between things. Now you usually get like 3 to 4 matches. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get like 5 matches. And considering that the pay-per-views went from being like 2 hours to 4 hours, it's fucking exhausting because now almost every match will sometimes go for like a fucking hour long, which is exhausting. It's
No
absolutely
Raw
necessary.
matches anymore either.
That's true. You know, they got rid of all the bathroom breaks, which well, not all of them because Logan Paul wrestles. But it's
I
kind
can
of one of those.
imagine. Can you imagine how exhausting it must be to be at the event?
Oh, it's wild. I haven't been to a WWE event live, but I do go to indie shows around here whenever I can. And even just for some of the 2.5, 3 hour shows that happen around here, it's a fucking long sit.
One of the travesties though is like a lot of these wrestlers like legitimately cannot hold like lengthy matches like that.
No,
So
absolutely not.
whenever you're forcing them to go like 30 minutes plus, like you can tell.
Well, in
It
general
starts to
though,
drag
like
ass.
strength versus like cardio training is totally different. So like endurance is like not the thing when you're focusing on like having all that bulk, you know?
Well, it's funny because there are a lot of wrestlers that used to like be like the prime examples of insane cardio. Kurt Angle was one of them. Is that he used to just have a bit of a reputation for trying to gas out his opponents constantly, where he would just constantly just fucking keep going with move after move after move, and just constantly training shit just to purposely make his opponent look terrible and exhausted.
That's that wrestler, that All American.
That's right. He won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Don't you forget that.
So I'm gonna offer this on the table. You guys are gonna talk WrestleMania, and then you're gonna talk Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave for a little while because I imagine this talk is gonna go for a little bit. I'm chilling. Just message me right back when you guys are ready.
All right.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about WrestleMania, so I'll be a
Daredevil away.
All right, I want to talk about WrestleMania real quick though, just because this like I said, there were some interesting things that did happen with this. So high level, night one did have some absolute fun matches. War Raiders versus holy fuck, I am blanking now. But the War Raiders tag match was a lot of fun. I enjoy the War Raiders. Fuck, now I have to remind myself of the goddamn card.
Couldn't have been
that just goes to show how strongly I feel about night one. All right, let's fucking pull the card here. No, that's the night 2 card. I fucking know the night 2 card because I have many fucking thoughts on the goddamn night 2 card. All right, so night one. Oh yeah, we had El Grande Americano. So Chad Gable versus Rey Fenix in his second match in the WWE. Shout outs to fucking Rey Fenix for being slotted right into the main event scene in fucking WrestleMania because Rey Mysterio fucking broke his goddamn kneecaps again. We had this one was a fun match. Jacob Fatu took the United States title from LA Knight. Fatu is phenomenal. The dude's gonna go a long fucking way in the WWE, and I just love watching him be a monster that destroys people. We had Jey Uso versus Gunther. I was very disappointed with this match. I have a lot of strong thoughts on this. I knew Jay was winning. There was no. He's too hot not to have won. I hate that he made Gunther tap. Jey Uso in no fucking universe makes Gunther tap out. It was the New Day versus the War Raiders. That's right. And the New Day won with chicken heel bullshit. Jade Cargill versus Naomi was fine. It was a good match. The two that I have a lot of thoughts on from night one, though, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This has been a weird fucking ride. Are you familiar with behind the scenes shit with these two?
No.
Okay. So TLDR, I gave no fucks about this match, and most people didn't either until recently. So Tiffany Stratton, she's 25. She just recently got called up to the main roster. She's only been on it for about a year. And hell yeah. And they've pushed her to the fucking moon. Women's champion for SmackDown. And Charlotte Flair comes back. And the original intention was that Tiffany was going to stay a heel and Charlotte Flair was going to come back as a babyface. But the way that they presented Charlotte Flair coming back as a babyface is her saying, yes, I'm rich and better than everyone because I am Ric Flair's daughter and I will always be better than everyone. To which everyone in the wrestling community is like, this is fucking dumb. Why would we ever root for her? And Charlotte Flair was getting booed so fucking much that she couldn't talk during promos. Like, it was X-Pac levels of heat of just everyone booing her into silence. So WWE pivoted. They turned Tiffy face. They made Charlotte heel. And a few weeks back, there was a kind of old 90s style promo where they had reporting in via satellite, where they had them kind of side by side from different locations. And Charlotte Flair went off script. And she just started hammering into some personal things about Tiffany. And Tiffany was just like, I don't know what to do. What I don't understand what's happening here. Why is this happening? And made her look like an ass, just all around, just fucking horrible. So fast forward a couple of weeks, and they have a promo face to face in the ring. And Tiffany came fucking prepared this time. She had a huge just bucket list of shit to shit on Charlotte Flair for, talking about how she's everyone's favorite nepo baby, talking about how she is 0-3 in life. In her lonely life, referring to the fact that she has now had 3 divorces, and just fucking tearing Charlotte apart so badly that in like a desperation move, as Tiffy was leaving the ring, Charlotte Flair was like, well, your boyfriend's in my DMs, is like the most pathetic little but it's fucking silo. To which Ludwig Kaiser, who's dating Tiffy Stratton, put out a video, and he's just like, please don't embarrass yourself like that. And it was fucking hilarious. And so I was excited now for this because the two legitimately seem to have some insane heat. Going into this match, did you end up watching this match?
Not live. I caught clips of it after.
Holy fuck.
I seen all the like speculation people because like she chipped her tooth mid-match, but then
she became Tiffy time.
Yeah. But then afterwards it was like perfectly fixed. And like, god damn, someone's back there working overtime.
Yeah, so Charlotte was in fucking sandbagging her the whole goddamn match, and working insanely stiff, which is unfortunately a thing that Charlotte does do every time she knows she's losing a high-profile match, except to Rhea, because let's be honest, Rhea Ripley can legitimately fucking toss her like a rag doll. So ain't no goddamn way she's gonna try to fucking sandbag Rhea Ripley.
No, you're just gonna hurt yourself more that way.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. But so that was kind of a horrible, fascinating thing to see because, goddamn, Tiffy was trying to actually put on a decent match, and Charlotte was not having it. Kudos to Tiffy. She, if anything, came out of this looking like a beast in a weird way. They present her as this kind of Barbie character to the point where even Mattel actually made a box.
Yeah, the intro that she had was really cool too.
Yeah, 100%. Really kind of cool. But despite the fact that she's, played as a Barbie doll kind of character, she kind of came out of this looking like a fucking legit brawler.
Yeah, she was like bruised during like the exit interview or the post.
Oh, her fucking head was smashed.
Yeah.
Like she honestly came out of this fucking card the most banged up out of every person in this fucking list, including Priest and McIntyre, who had a literal hardcore match. Which we'll get to in a second here. But yeah, so that was a fascinating train wreck. I kind of had fun with that, and honestly, gained a lot of respect for Tiffy because of that match. Then, of course, we had what was one of the most built-up matches for the 2-night card: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. We got the double turn from Paul Heyman. Man cock punched Roman Reigns and CM Punk to align himself with Seth Rollins, which I saw this from tonight's Raw, just because everyone was blowing up about it. But I'll talk about it when we are done the next segment here. But yeah, heel Seth Rollins in alliance with Paul Heyman. That's going to be kind of an interesting thing. Next card, I didn't even bother watching it, but we had Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Love AJ Styles, but I'm just not ever going to invest time in Logan Paul.
Yeah, no,
dude can wrestle, but
yeah, no, that match was really weird. It felt like it just kind of sucked the air out of the room a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that like Karrion Kross was involved too at one point for some reason.
Yeah, because like Logan Paul's like henchman or whatever tried to sneak out Nux to him, and Cross like intervened and then tried to get AJ to use the knuckles instead. It was really weird.
All right, fascinating.
Yeah.
But the pay-per-view did start with one of the best fucking matches on the card. Io versus Rhea versus Bianca.
Yeah, that one was great.
Fuck. There was almost no fucking stopping during that match. Just constant fucking fighting. Those three put on, as JR would say, an absolute fucking slobber knocker. Jesus Christ. What a fucking peak match. Holy shit.
I'm just always a really big fan of women's triple threat matches. For some reason, I feel like they just have like a different energy to them.
Oh, 100%, especially when you get genuine, phenomenal, versatile workers.
For sure.
You know, you have Bianca and Rhea, who are both like strong, but they also have more diversity to their movesets than just being strong. And Io will bump around like a goddamn madwoman any day of the week. So you give her two people who will gladly throw her like a fucking rag doll. Fucking peak.
Well, I mean, even like the ending of it, didn't she like moonsault onto both of them?
Yeah, she broke up a pin with a moonsault and then got the pin herself to win, which I'm fucking glad they let her keep the title because Io really does deserve a fucking run. And I hope she has a decent run. Especially with it sounds like we might be getting Kairi and Asuka back soon.
Yeah.
Then we also got a match I really fucking hate. We're going to do this out of order a little bit, but whatever. We also got a match I really fucking hated, especially after what happened on Raw. But we got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and a mystery opponent. One of two mystery opponent matches for the fucking evening. And that mystery opponent, the team up with Lyra Valkyria, was Becky Lynch.
So I have no context for like anything going on storyline wise. So whenever I was watching it a place where other people were watching it. So it was funny seeing all the comments and getting their context from it, and everyone was pissed. They're like, they did Bailey dirty for this.
Yeah. It was hilarious because Mercedes Moné, formerly Sasha Banks, actually replied to Bailey after that match saying, "Call me." AEW's got always welcome to offer you. But yeah, no, that's fucking insane. Especially where it led to a rematch tonight or yesterday on Raw, where Liv and Raquel got the titles back, and then Becky immediately turned heel and beat the shit out of Lyra.
See, I hate like whenever you're like you have the big pay-per-view, titles change, and then they just revert it like the next day. That's the fucking worst.
Yeah, it truly, it's kind of one of those what the fuck was the point moments.
Yeah, I paid to watch this for what reason?
And especially because what is far more impactful, having that insane heel turn out of nowhere on WrestleMania or the night after? You know, it's just fucking do it at WrestleMania, cowards.
Yeah.
But we also got other good matches here. We got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Fucking banger match. Absolutely wild. Was cool to see Drew McIntyre coming out like the Doomslayer.
Yeah, and just I didn't realize how athletic that dude was either. Because like I'm not a watcher, but there's like I forget what point in the match, but he's went over the top ropes and went like so high.
Yeah, it's a full fucking flip landing on his feet. Dude's bigger than fucking I am. Like just massive man. Holy shit. Fucking Drew is always amazing. I've truly one of the most underappreciated wrestlers. I really hope we do get to see him get a proper run with the title one of these days. The fact that he was the heavyweight champion during COVID, and that's the only time he's been the heavyweight champion, is fucking unfortunate. I really hope he is long overdue for having a proper title reign one of these days. Speaking of people that are overdue for title reigns, one of that was rectified because we had another one of my favorite matches of the weekend. the 4-way Intercontinental match with Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. What a fucking battle this goddamn was. That spot with Carlito getting fucking speared through the announce table from the other announce table was fucking peak.
And smacking the lady for the first time out of twice in the night.
Jesus Christ, yeah, let's fucking talk about that real quick. Holy fuck. So that poor lady audience gets fucking wrecked with some table debris from there. Later on, Stone Cold comes out into the ring on a fucking ATV, just fucking whipping donuts around the ring. I'm watching it with my wife and two of our best friends, and we're all just like, he's gonna fucking wipe out. He's gonna hit one of those announce desks or something.
I said that as soon as he made that first like ring around, I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit something. Then he's doing good. I'm like, okay, he's fine. And right after I said that, he smacks into the fucking
matches right into the guardrail rail. Apparently broke the steering column in the ATV, and almost fucking smashed into a poor woman that was right behind the barricade. Nick Khan, one of the executives of the company, had to come out and like basically beg her, please don't fucking sue us during the setup. But people that were there at the event kind of had some footage of the ATV. They got ring hands to try and drive the ATV away, but it wouldn't stay straight. It kept veering off, so they had to just fucking push it out.
Well, have you seen video too? Like before that, he missed the ramp to like go
Yeah.
to the ramp.
A lot of people were wondering if he was already a little fucking toasted before he pulled that shit.
I doubt it. I think he's just getting old.
Fair.
It's those old man reactions.
But yeah, the match itself, absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad to see Penta in the title scene already. He is someone that, again, he's already had a long career that has been phenomenal. Good to see him getting some flowers in WWE.
Well, also the whole thing with Ray Phoenix coming over, it would have been so easy for them to do like
Just immediately a
guest,
tag.
Penta in a tag match versus blah blah blah, and there's a guest appearance. Who's it going to be? And then they introduce him, then they send him on a tag run. So it's really cool that they're letting him have his singles run.
Agreed. Both men easily deserve it. Absolutely phenomenal. Doesn't mean I don't want to see them teaming up again.
Oh yeah,
day,
no, for sure. Let them do their solo shit, and then like in like a year or so, bring them together for a tag match, and they're gonna fucking blow the roofs off of whatever the fuck show they're on.
100%. Speaking of blowing the roof off, Dominic Mysterio won the fucking title, and goddamn, that crowd was ecstatic. Holy shit!
It's so awesome how like over he is with people too. Like he's truly reaching like those Eddie levels, and it's really cool to see.
I was just about to say they're literally just playing the 2000s Eddie storyline with him, and it's hitting so well.
Yep.
I really hope they start to include some of the like deep lore, because he jokes about being a 20-year veteran of the industry. So I want them to like start bringing back some clips of like the fucking Dominic Mysterio child rights on a briefcase match. And it's just like, yes, my real poppy Eddie who won my child rights. But yeah, no, I'm excited for him. He was someone that definitely wasn't great when he was a face, wasn't great with Ray, but ever since going heel has been very much coming into his own. And while he's still not like a great wrestler, he is a phenomenal showman. He's gotten real good at that and is doing a lot of good with it.
Well, that's the thing about being a heel too. You don't necessarily have to be the best wrestler if as long as you can be that showman, as long as you can take a bump.
Exactly. And he fucking bumps. He's gotten very good at bumping around for people. And then we got before we get to the main event, there was one other match to talk about real quick. Say his name and he appears. I believed in Joe Hendry. Randy Orton getting a surprise opponent. I was not fucking expecting goddamn Joe Hendry. The meme is alive and well. And you know what? I fucking popped for it. Goddamn, I popped for it. That was such a fun match. It was just a short 8 little minute match. But you know what? It did everything it needed to, including a wonderful story of just Joe Hendry actually fucking powering Randy, which is weird to think that Joe Hendry doesn't look small, but when you put him next to Orton, goddamn, homeboy looks fucking small.
Right.
But the fact that he was still pulling power moves on Orton and actually winning strength contests, really cool to see. But again, the story of him getting into, soaking in the WrestleMania hype and then just the RKO out of nowhere as he's fucking grinning to the camera, just fucking peak. Followed by, all right, let's get you up, let's share you off to the crowd, and then RKO getting it, and then Randy Orton doing his own. Fucking beautiful. I loved it. Something I did not love, though, was our main event. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, talking about people that shouldn't be carrying an hour-long match.
On the bright side, it did give like a really good moment from the next day at Raw.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the build up to this weird fucking parallel universe where we're getting a face Randy Orton against a heel John Cena for Backlash. It's weird to say those words, but here we are. So I'm kind of excited for that, but god damn, this match did not need to be as long as it was.
No.
And holy shit, was it a dumpster fire. Rock needs to stop inserting himself into storylines. Travis Scott needs to go the fuck away. And we need to be able to actually see wrestling. Like, holy shit. I know John Cena has a limited move pool. I know the man, even in his prime, had like 5 moves and that was it. But like, I think I counted maybe 6 moves that entire match.
Yeah, everything about it was super anticlimactic. Like even like whenever the match would start revving up and start getting good, it would always just get halted by something. Either John like doing his little like nope stick or someone interfering or whatever. It is very weird to see.
It's also sad. Like, it's obviously what I'm about to say is fucking no one's fault, but it's so unfortunate that we're finally getting the Cena heel run and fucking Bray Wyatt isn't here for it.
Yeah.
Could you fucking imagine actually getting that final little spin with the Fiend and John Cena and Cena's last run? Oh my god, the full circle moment of that storyline would have been just fucking... I hope they at least do follow up on that a little bit with the Wyatt 6 just to kind of have that final little send-off. But
Right.
at the same time, I'd understand if they're like, John Cena's only got, I think he only has like 27 more appearances left for the year, which, okay, fine, I guess. But, goddamn, what I don't know. I'm glad Cena got the record, I guess. It's at least it's not Ric Flair holding the record anymore. But I just think if we're gonna start getting some Cena in the ring more, we need to actually see more wrestling involved in those fucking matches. And I'm hoping that Randy is gonna be a person that can fucking carry that match, because Cody Rhodes is not.
Yeah.
All right, so from disappointing endings to the complete fucking opposite of holy fucking shit endings.
One moment. I'm gonna let my dog.
All right.
Be right back.
All right. I'm fucking lone man in this goddamn ocean. Trey Fitty in the chat. Bring back the cruiserweight title for Travis Scott. You should eat a fucking tire. Absolutely goddamn not. That man should not be anywhere near the goddamn ring, let alone with a title. It's bad enough they gave him a stupid approximation of the old hardcore title. The dumbest fucking thing imaginable. Jesus Christ. Oh, you better be fucking trolling, Trey Fitty. Absolutely. You better be fucking trolling. Although, speaking of the Cruiserweight title, a fascinating thing, I guess Funaki's son has debuted in wrestling, so that's kind of cool to see. Real quick, Trey Fitty was shitting me here for a moment. But talking about the cruiserweight title for a second, one, I do think they should bring that back. But two, speaking of people that have had the cruiserweight title, Funaki's son just debuted in wrestling, which was kind of interesting to see.
That is really interesting.
Um, but yeah, so speaking of fucking things that are interesting to see, fucking Born Again, god damn.
Shee-wee.
Fucking from those insane first fucking opening moments to those ridiculously fucking cold final moments. What a fucking ride.
Yeah, no joke, right? Like, and so from what I've heard is like parts of episode 1 and parts of the last 2 episodes were what the new group like cobbled together and like cornerstoned on each end of it. And then I
Okay.
guess everything in between was already shot and they might have like edited it or changed some stuff around, but that was like the meat and guts of what the show was beforehand.
All right, I can kind of see that because there definitely is a much stronger tonal difference between the beginning and ending versus the rest of the series.
There definitely is. Like I feel like almost you could have like that first and those last 2 episodes and just have those and it like makes sense kind of without like
Yeah,
all the fluff in between because there was a
because
lot
you
of
can
fluff in
immediately
between.
piece together where they go from it.
Right. And but I did like the fluff in between. There's a lot of really cool stuff there, I feel like.
No,
Um
I actually really enjoyed a lot more of the courtroom stuff. Honestly, it was good
oh
seeing
yeah.
that.
100%. That was so good. Like all the whole White Tiger like court ordeal was really good.
Absolutely gripping, and shout outs. Looked like I guess the actor passed,
Yeah.
which is really sad to see.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate too because he put in one hell of a like a portrayal for it. I mean,
Phenomenal performance.
yeah.
But yeah, no, this was a very interesting season that it would have been really cool to see this season during the height of the Netflix era of the Marvel stuff, because
Mhm.
keeping it to the street level heroes, which season 2 really kind of needs to try to do its best to, but would have been fascinating because I could see how that easily could have led into like a Defender season 2.
Yeah, it is super interesting because like especially with the height of where the Netflix Daredevil stuff was at that time was super popular like and then you drop this, I feel like this would have been like that perfect
Oh,
just
would have
like
been
chef's
fucking
kiss.
absolutely perfect. And I mean, we did get to see there was like a couple moments where we got to see glimpses of the Harlem club that is owned by Luke Cage by the end of season 2, Luke Cage.
Mhm.
And we did get to see other allusions to the other kind of Defenders characters in here. But it kind of makes me wonder how much of them potentially will actually come back.
I've seen a thing too, like the showrunners, the new showrunners, they were saying they're because people asked them like, "Oh, have you seen the comments about people wanting the Defenders?" And their whole thing was kind of like, we're listening."
Because
Yeah,
that's the thing, is like the way that Born Again ends, it feels like it basically is setting up for that, because you have the underground penitentiary essentially of all the heroes that I honestly don't know why Fisk didn't just kill them.
yeah,
But you got Punisher under there, you got the Gentleman Fencer, and I think there's a couple others down there, and I'm like, oh shit, like, all right, I guess we got Defenders 2.0 basically sitting down there.
right. Knockoff Defenders.
But I mean, because this is the other thing too, is he also while doing the whole vigilante thing, brought up Spider-Man, and I feel like that kind of brings up one of the major problems with doing this storyline in this era of Marvel.
Yep.
Is I feel like, again, this is the like one of those weird things where you always kind of have to like do your best to segregate parts of Marvel continuity, but so many heroes have New York as their home. And you just
Yeah.
had a non-powered dude just say, nah, fuck this. I'm committing martial law in New York. With all the fucking heroes that goddamn live there, like, that's gonna fucking fly?
Yeah, like Spider-Man alone. Like
Spider-Man alone ends this fucking problem. But I mean, last I looked, again, some of the superheroes you can kind of reason with to a degree. Obviously the magicians don't really get involved unless it's a more cosmic level threat. So
Right.
fine, they don't really fucking care about the street level shit. It's just petty people being petty people for a while. Bruce Banner's traveling around doing who knows what other than just fucking everywhere apparently. But like She-Hulk's there.
Right. She has to be doing something.
She's got to be doing something. You got well, Cap was in the past now. Pepper Potts and her family still technically lives in fucking New York. They're still going to be involved in all the shit that's going on there. Fucking and then honestly, I don't remember if this is set after or before Brave New World, but you basically also have half of the fucking Thunderbolts living in New York.
Well, I mean, not only that, but just like the Defenders alone. Like, where the fuck is Jessica? Where the fuck's Luke? Iron?
Yeah, you
Like,
think
it's
Luke
like-
Cage is just gonna sit around while this fucking happens? Absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the big one. Because like, there's no way people are gonna be running amok in Harlem or wherever he's at this moment, and he's not gonna be in the middle of that shit.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I kind of wish this story had happened at the peak Netflix because
Mhm.
this just feels like the perfect dovetail to go right into a new Defenders.
It really is. And from the set photos and stuff that they've leaked of season 2 so far, I'm really hopeful that we do get some more of that.
A couple of things I also wanted to shout out here. One, it was so satisfying having Punisher return and just getting a lot of that fanboy energy and seeing an in-universe Punisher actually get a reaction to that. Because goddamn, I swear people don't understand Punisher. So it's kind of nice to have that little fucking reminder of where Punisher actually morally aligns himself.
Yeah, and it's really cool too because they do really bring a whole lot from the comics in, even with that dialogue. Because and like traditionally in the comics, he's a big Captain America fan. And
Yeah,
like he even drops that line too, and he does that numerous times throughout the comics. He's like, "Hey, I'm not the role model you want to look at. If you want a role model, look at Steve, look at Cap. He's your role
exactly.
model." And he even drops that line here. It's like, okay, y'all been cooking.
And I appreciate it too because it felt like we even got some of that dynamic because that's always a thing that the Punisher always kind of grates against some of the other superheroes that don't try to kill people. I mean, fuck, he had to be locked away during Civil War because he kept killing villains, and Captain was like, "You need to fucking stop. Just fucking stop. Can you not kill for 2 seconds?" He's like, "I don't know what you want from me, Steve. It's the one thing I do." And Caps was just like, "Fuck, you're right. I don't know what I thought." And we got to see that even with Daredevil, fucking Punisher just going fucking beast mode on everyone in order to save Daredevil. He's like, "No, you can't be killing people. Stop that." He's like, "What do you want from me? It's what I do."
That scene was so fucking funny. He's just continuously capping people.
Oh, fucking ridiculous. Like, it felt
What
like a
about this
whole
guy?
different
Blah.
show during that. Jesus Christ.
It really did, and like that's what like makes me more excited for season 2 because I feel like these people that cooked in those last 2 episodes, they fucking cooked.
Fucking
Because
so
even in
good.
that, not the last one, but the one before it, there's some really cool shots like of like the whole scene just changing colors like after a very poignant moment, or like I think it was something with Bullseye, like in the camera like
Yes.
panned out the whole scene turned blue, and then they did the same thing
Yes.
with Matt, but the whole scene turned red. It's like, I see what you're doing.
All right. So speaking of which, we have two fun kind of dovetailed mysteries into this here, and I'm kind of curious your thoughts. So number one, I have a theory, but I'm curious yours first. Do you think Daredevil did intentionally allow for Bullseye to be able to escape?
I don't think his intention was to like necessarily let Bullseye escape. It was just more to he knew Fisk being assassinated would like exasperate the problem. It proved Fisk right, essentially.
'Cause I'm torn. I think that he did want Bullseye to escape because just that whole tense dialogue where Bullseye made it very clear that he had an out. Like after Matt smashed his fucking face on the desk, Bullseye didn't really hide the fact that he was like, "Oh, thank you," as if he's like he had his exact means to escape now, and all he got was just a "fuck you" out of like frustration. And I can't help but read that, especially with Matt's weird fucking blind sonar vision. Couldn't detect that. Oh fuck! I probably knocked something loose in that fucking mouth hole of his.
No, that's a bullseye, a classic bullseye move too. He's done that a few times. He's done it to Matt a few times too. Just hawked his tooth at him.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I feel like he had to have known. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's one of those things like maybe, but at the same time, Bullseye's just crafty enough. He's the type of dude to chew off his own arm as long as he gets his own shot at whatever it is he's trying to do.
Fair.
I think it's one of
And
those things where Matt's learning. He's like, oh fuck, this guy really does have no links that he won't go.
and so that kind of leads to the second question: is where do we think he fucking is now? Bullseye just kind of showed up, failed to assassinate Fisk, left, didn't explain anything further. I mean, the whole reason to lock down the city was to try and find him, but fucking we had no further follow up on what was going on with Bullseye.
For like, man, so like he's already been in like screenshots and stuff for season 2, but I was kind of hoping that he just kind of fucks off. He's kind of like done with the Daredevil series and they bring him into like the MCU as a whole, because I love like all the stuff that Bullseye just gets up to randomly, because he's one of those guys, he'll randomly pop up in a comic. You're like, oh well, fuck, I guess he's here now being like the badass assassin or doing XYZ.
Well, that's just it, because like Bullseye, Taskmaster, there are so many like non super powered heroes. I mean, obviously they have unnatural physical abilities, but you know, they're not like your Hulks or your fucking Thors or something that still manage to like keep the super powered individuals on their fucking toes to outright acing them at times. And that's just fascinating whenever you have someone that is just a little above normal, that are just such masters at what they do, that it fucks over anyone that's not prepared for it. And that's why I was so fucking pissed with everything they've done with fucking Taskmaster in the MCU up to this point. One of my favorite fucking villains, just absolutely fucked with. But
Don't worry,
I
she'll be dead soon and Tony will get his time.
True, maybe from Battle World we'll end up getting a different Taskmaster brought in.
Right, exactly.
It's gonna look like a fucking Marvel 3 combo video, just going ahead and pulling up all these just bullshit moves on fucking someone in battle. It'd be fun. But no, like, and that's where my other kind of not concern, but like my other kind of question comes is, like I was alluding to earlier, like, a lot of people, especially comic readers, do especially associate Spider-Man with Fisk as well. It's kind of one of those things that, do we think we see Spider-Man following up on all this insane shit?
Maybe in like one of his movies. Like my hope would be that, like, I don't even know, because I forget when we're supposed to be getting the brand new day or whatever it was, Spider-Man. I think it's like 2026, 27.
Yeah, I think we're like
So
2 years off from it.
maybe if they're able to like dovetail out like the Kingpin story, but then again, like you need the Kingpin story to keep revving up just for like Spider-Man to get folded into it. So I don't know. It's so weird. It's one of those things. Like I feel like Kingpin's such a great Spider-Man villain, like character, antagonist, or whatever, but they haven't really built him to that point where he would make a good antagonist to the current Spider-Man. And there's just so many Spider-Man stories now that we haven't gotten that I feel like we should get to first before going to. It's just such a weird like timeline that we're in for.
Yeah, because see, here's the other weird thing is that we have Thunderbolts in May, so we have
Right.
Thunderbolts next month. Actually, less than May 2nd, so we have that next week.
Right, exactly.
We have
That's next week.
Thunderbolts next week, which we know is basically going to be setting up for what's going to happen with Doom.
Right. It's going to have some kind of tie-in to, if not Doom, it's going to have some kind of like, we're going to find out what's happening with the Avengers, I feel like.
Exactly.
We're going to get another either post-credits or somewhere in the movies. We're probably going to see Wong. We're probably going to see whoever is building the Avengers right now.
And then we have Ironheart in June.
I forgot about that too. and
then
Fantastic Four in July.
Exactly. So we have basically month to month to month, like these are going to be massive shifting moments for the entirety of the continuity, it makes me worried that we might see some of the stuff with Daredevil get lost in the shuffle of everything that's going to change with these films.
That's entirely possible because the funny thing about Thunderbolts is I'm pretty sure that like the big event, like the big third act or whatever, is supposed to take place in New York again.
I think so.
And it's essentially Void just turning people into shadows, turning into like fucking nuclear blast marks on the sidewalk. So again, it's another situation. Like, where the fuck is Spider-Man? Because this is actually
Yeah.
like a like more of a Spider-Man level event, and he's not going to be there. Or like, how does that stuff get explained off by them? Is that something that they even try to explain?
Who fucking knows at this point? And then,
Yeah,
Avengers Doomsday is May of next year. So 1 year from now, basically, we have the most massive shakeup to the continuity. And I don't see a schedule for when season 2 might happen.
yeah.
It's definitely not happening in a year, though.
I think they were trying to say it's supposed to be 2026 is when it's coming out. I don't think there's like a concrete date.
And Spider-Man 4 is shooting for, or they're aiming for July next year.
Oh fuck!
And
Would not be surprised if that got pushed.
yeah, and then we still have a TBD on Shang-Chi 2.
Mm-hmm.
And still a TBD on Vision Quest.
Yeah, I think the only big one I can think of is Wonder Man. That one like actually has a trailer for it.
That one is December this year, I think.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, December 2025.
Yeah, the movie slate is kind of weird right now.
Yeah, like we weirdly have like an insane amount of shit back to back to back to back right now. And then we have no idea what fucking next year looks like other than Doomsday.
Right, just empty.
Which, to be fair, I get it, because that completely is going to shake everything up, because presumably we're going to basically just have a massive shakeup of our status quo at that point.
Right. Should we call Adrian back in? Because I feel like
yeah, because I'm sure he'll want like some of the more extended Marvel talk, anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, Daredevil, great. What'd you think about that gory moment in the last episode?
Fucking Christ! Just kudos to them for doing it, because that is always one people's fear, is that like we won't get any hard shit with the MCU.
Right.
And everyone's like, I remember people be like, well, Deadpool's gonna be the one exception because it's not totally just an MCU project. But no, they committed with this one. Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, I thought they went far with the head in the door slam in like season 1 or whatever, but no. This one they're like, you know what? We're gonna fucking do something heinous and we're gonna show it.
So fucking good.
So good.
All right, Adrian, this is one thing we do want to get your thoughts on here real quick, because we're talking about the schedule and how it's kind of wild how right now we've actually been like back to back to back with releases. We had Captain America in February, we had Daredevil this month. Next month is actually next week is Thunderbolts. Then we have Ironheart June. We have Fantastic Four July. Eyes of Wakanda August. October Marvel Zombies. This fucking Wonder Man December. And then like fucking nothing until May next year, which is Doomsday.
I mean, sounds about right.
It's just wild that we're getting like so much shit back to back that it's going to be one of those weird things where it kind of doesn't matter, because Doomsday is just going to reset so much shit.
I guess I mean Eyes of Wakanda and What If, or not What If, Zombies are going to be kind of the non-essential maybe viewings, because right, is Eyes of Wakanda animation?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
it's like stories from Wakanda type thing.
Yeah, so I don't see those being major players. I think, in fact, it's funny. It's like thus far, I think Loki's the only show of substance that has actually mattered in the larger MCU, right? Like WandaVision, I guess, but I think that's still such a weird, wonky. Like, I still hate the bridge from that to Multiverse of Madness.
Well, then we're still not due for Vision Quest until sometime next year. So it's kind of one of those wild things that we just have no follow up on Vision since then.
Right. So
Oh yeah,
I
we had Agatha here recently too. I forgot all about that.
Oh
one.
yeah, we had
Yeah.
Agatha recently too, with that very frustrating fucking ending.
I don't know. That seems about right. Like get through with all this stuff. Wonder Man makes sense. What is it? We have Thunderbolts makes sense. I think I'm excited for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I was right before you came back. I was thinking about it, and we were kind of chatting the shit some more. And like, I feel like my revelation is, I feel like Thunderbolts is gonna like do a lot more heavy lifting than we think it is.
Yeah,
I feel like there's gonna be like either a big post credits or there's gonna be like a big revelation somewhere in there for us.
Because you're the one that got in the whole like this is word we can't call ourselves the Thunderbolts or something like that, or
Yeah,
I
it has to be Dark Avengers, I think.
right, because that makes a lot of sense the more that we're getting to it, right? Because of how prominent they are in Doomsday as well, where Kevin Feige straight up just said this is like Thunderbolts, Avengers, Wakandans, and X-Men all fighting against Doctor Doom. It's like the fact that you would like classify Thunderbolts as something completely different makes me feel like you're folding them into like that bigger sort of name right now, you know?
Yeah, that'd be really interesting if it turned out to be like X-Men, Avengers, Young Avengers, Dark Avengers.
Do you think so? Let's say that theory is
West
true.
Coast Avengers.
Let's say it is a Dark Avengers. Is it? Why do you think they didn't call it that?
I think it's going.
I think they will.
Wonder. I think they will.
No, I mean like,
but-
why is it not called? Why is it called Thunderbolts right now?
Right. That's what I'm trying to understand too, because there's that weird. It feels like ADR like in the trailers alone, because they're like, oh, we're the Thunderbolts, and Bucky's like, we can't call ourselves that. Why does he have an issue with calling himself the Thunderbolts? Right. Like, there's, as far as we know, there's no sort of
unless it's like a
analog
cringy
here.
like we're not going to call ourselves the Thunderbolts, but I mean,
Well,
That's why I'm thinking it has to be Dark Avengers, because he was an Avenger. So if
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we're the Dark Avengers, I feel like that's him being like, we can't. That's cringy. I was an Avenger. I can't be a Dark Avenger.
right, but
especially
it makes
because,
me
like,
wonder. Sorry, go ahead. You're good.
No, it's all good. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, everything with this has been so tongue in cheek because it's Thunderbolts, asterisk,
Right.
and the whole
The
idea
Asterisk
of
is something for sure, and Kevin
and the
Feige's been
whole-
coy about it.
Exactly, and the whole with the 80-yard line of like, oh, we can't call ourselves Thunderbolts. Like that feels like such a meta joke because that had very much to do with Thunderbolt Ross and Red Hulk, and we just got off the back of Brave New World there. So that still kind of feels like it's specifically targeting people that have read the comics and are like, oh, well, that's kind of a weird combination of people to use for the Thunderbolts specifically.
No, I get
Part
this.
of me,
Oh, sorry. Are you going where I'm at with that,
Part-
Kels?
not quite, but like, so they've done this before, right? They did this with Civil War.
Yeah.
So beforehand, they called it Captain America and the Serpent Society.
But they changed it in the
So-
middle of the same event, though.
Right. So they changed it to hide the fact that it was based off the comic run, right? So I wonder
Yeah.
if they're doing the same here. Like, what if it's Thunderbolts, and then we're going to get like Civil War 2, or just as an example.
No, I
like, we're
get
gonna
that
like,
too,
the
but
Victorious
it just
comic
in my
run.
mind, I wonder is like, were they just afraid of just having a movie called Dark Avengers, which would be kind of mind boggling to me because I'm like, no, I feel like that's a name you want to get stuff off because like a movie called Dark Avengers versus like a movie called Thunderbolts. I feel like just
I
Avengers
feel
is
like
gonna
it's
just
for. I could see it from the perspective.
unless you're not
of-
trying to burn out the audience from 3 Avengers films, I guess technically then that might actually make sense then.
That is definitely like a potential good reason for it, but I also feel like with how much we're starting to really get a lot of like actual fan favorite things and a lot of things that people have been wanting for years to see out of MCU, it almost kind of feels like it's very much trying to be the build up to that actual fan surprise of like, all right, it's the Thunderbolt, sure, but no, we're really going to give you this and get that just online pop and that online reaction.
Right.
That's
and
what I'm
just
kind of
kinda-
wondering too, because I feel like what we've seen from like all the trailers have like all been like almost the same exact scenes. So I'm wondering if there's like something that we're just really missing and not seeing. It's like the whole thing with like Taskmaster, like
And
we see
Yeah.
him,
that
like,
would make
once.
sense as to why it's getting reviewed so well, right? Like there has to be
Right.
something to it. And then yeah, maybe they just don't want Avengers Overload, right? Because Dark Avengers was one of the rumored movies way back when, right? Like 5-6 years ago, they were saying we're gonna do a Young Avengers, we're gonna do a Dark Avengers, we're gonna do all these. So that makes sense. They pivoted to Thunderbolts and are doing something with that. But I digress. I'm excited for that movie. That's gonna be a good time. I think.
Yeah,
I have
go
more
for
faith
it.
in this one than I've had in a Marvel movie in a while. Um, but I don't know. So we said Daredevil just finished. We have Thunderbolts. Then we have what's the next one you said?
Next one
Uh,
is Ironheart
Ironheart.
after
Ironheart. I
Thunderbolt.
keep forgetting Ironheart. That did because they also forgot about Ironheart.
Yeah.
It's been done for a while.
Well, it's been done for a while, and they were like talking about change. Was it that or Armor Wars? They were talking about.
Oh no,
changing
the
from
Armor War is what I'm
Ar-
thinking of actually.
Yeah, Armor Wars is still TBD
Jesus
currently.
Christ. Yeah,
Just like
that's.
Blade, we're not seeing either of those projects. Let's
But
be
is it?
honest.
But is Armor Wars done?
No.
Yeah, it's so weird, right? Because I remember at one point they're like, "Yeah, we're making this into a TV show." Then they're like, "No, actually, this needs to be a movie." And then they announced it was gonna be a TV show again, and then it's just
Yeah,
been
but I
dead.
thought that was done because I thought I saw them filming it. Unless they
Yeah, they
stopped.
filmed a lot, but they've been having to refilm a lot of things because they can't make up their minds of what they want it to be. And I wonder if it's part of the shakeup that they had to do with the Doomsday, because part of me almost wonders is with the whole kind of Kang Dynasty stuff that was building up,
That too.
that it makes me wonder like how integrated that Armor Wars would have been into that, kind of in the same way that everyone's suspecting that Fantastic Four is going to be so ingrained into obviously what's going on with Doomsday. I mean, makes sense that it kind of makes you wonder if that was the original relationship with Armor Wars to King Dynasty.
I think also I know Armor Wars is just a mess of like 45 different things going on though. It's like supposed to be like magic and
Well, that's
tech.
the whole thing with Ironheart because they're bringing in Red Hood or the Hood, and they're also bringing in Mephisto.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
like okay.
So the thing that people keep saying for years, it's got to be Mephisto.
shouts
We finally get it. It's
to
in
new
fucking
rock stars.
Ironheart.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like Loki. I know Loki they had to pivot their last episode, I think, to fit in with their new slate. Yeah, no, it seems right. And then you give the audience what they need, and then just make them break off for a little bit. Then we have a good 4-month break until Doomsday, which is gonna, like trailers gonna come out in December and rock the boat crazy, and we're all just gonna be bated breath. I think that's a smart move. Get everyone just steady input this year. Hit him with a big trailer in December, and just go hands off with it until Doomsday. And I think you. I don't think it does Infinity War numbers, but I think it does for sure above Age of Ultron for sure.
I think the whole thing is like because they're essentially it's like a two-parter, right? They're doing this in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So I think it's just gonna be like one of those things. They're just setting the spike up for the Secret Wars. They're just setting the ball up for it.
Yeah, I'm just really curious as to how those two blend together. Honestly, like Doomsday into Secret Wars. I mean, we're gonna get Avengers versus X-Men, but Secret Wars is also kind of like a big duke it out battle, isn't it? Too.
Not
No, they're all
Why-
teamed up against.
no,
Oh,
it is kind of a Duke 'em out battle, but they establish like They live a whole life on Battle Planet. Essentially, it's not like constant fighting. They like set up fiefdoms. They have like followers. It's really complicated.
Yeah,
It's like a whole life.
and like I said last week, the biggest thing I think is fascinating about the way that the Russo brothers are approaching it is they said that Endgame was the end of something and Secret Wars is the start of something,
Yep.
which is fascinating because I'm like, okay, let's see where they go with that because Endgame, God bless it, also fucked over Disney in a lot of ways too, right? Where it's like you it's hard to like imagine what comes after this,
Yeah, because it was basically a final goodbye to so much.
It was a final it was really like the last straw, and then you had to reset, and they just never got that reset down. Like even to this day, they just never reestablished a reset, which I don't know. I think better plans could have not nailed that out. I don't know how they fumbled that honestly, but it is what it is. I think streaming fucked it up for sure a lot, but
Part of me wonders too, like how much is it is like contractual stuff too, right? Because remember, like a few years ago, we got like that report that like the original X-Men cast had to come out and like finish out their contracts before like new X-Men could be cast or some shit.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
like the Dark Phoenix or something like that was a reason for some of them getting out of that or something like that? Something weird.
Yeah, well, I guess like all of the like the Fox, like the original dudes like had to come back before like a certain time or something like that, and a lot of them got confirmed
You-
for Doomsday.
You
so
know
it makes
what?
me wonder how
Actually,
much
that
of
makes perfect sense. So the Russo brothers have said that the way that they do some of these movies is they get baseball cards of everyone. Like they just get baseball cards of literally everyone on the roster, and it has like all the stats as in like, are they available and how many movies are left on their contract. And that's the way they actually conduct a lot of their roster on this movie.
actually a good idea.
Yeah, right. And
That's
that
kind of clever. Yeah.
that makes sense, right? Is if they have all these X-Men and they had them for another movie contract, knock them all out. Let's sweep it up and then let's move on.
Yeah, because I think that was like the whole ordeal with it is that they had to be used in some kind of project before they could spin off into the new.
That makes a lot of
MCU.
sense. And then yeah, why not just why not make Doomsday just one big ol' actual? Because Deadpool Wolverine's not really the goodbye, right? It'll probably be like this is the one that people thought Deadpool Wolverine was gonna lean into, which is like kill the Fox universe in a way,
Kill the
right?
Fox universe.
This will probably lean into that.
No, they're gonna let Doom do that instead.
Yeah, Doom's just gonna fuck him up. But I hope that there's some sort of connection though. We can't. This is literally their last chance. I think we're not gonna ever like Doomsday and Secret Wars are the last bastion of connectivity you're gonna have, especially with these older people, right? We're not getting Ian McKellen
Hugh
as
Jackman
Magneto
much
again.
anymore.
No, not
Yeah.
even that. Magneto and Professor X are old, brother.
Yeah.
So like we need to make them have that one like connective moment. So I hope it's not just a quick, it has to be a really good connection on there. And Russos know how to make those character moments pop out,
That's the one thing that or one of the things that are giving me hope is I feel like they really not only understand the characters but understand how to give like these characters their moments. So fingers crossed.
Right. I remember
They have the toys, so let them play.
right. It's like thinking back to Infinity War when that was our first time seeing the Guardians interact with anyone else, and everyone was like, "Holy shit!" Right?
Right.
That was cool. It's still wild to think about, right? How connected everything is
And
like now,
then-
and just like everything was just there.
Yeah, it
Well,
feels
it's
so
funny,
long
too,
ago
because
now.
They just like completely fucked over James Gunn too, because I guess the whole thing, like he didn't know Gamora was gonna die.
Yep. He said that there was
They're
there
like-
was plans to do that like in the other movies. I think two. I think he was planning on doing it in 2 as well, but yeah. So that's why
Someone else takes your toys and does it for you.
and
Like,
you
he
and
was
I
back
think we
and
talked about it
forth.
right, but that's why James Gunn fucked them over back with the Bucky's arm thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Christmas special.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna throw this in there. You fuckers deal with it because you guys did that to me.
Fucking what a play.
Yeah, love that guy. Shouts to Superman. I really hope Superman does well. Superman really needs to do well. Crazy month though. That's what is it? It's Jurassic Park, Superman, then Fantastic Four, like almost like back to back weeks.
Yeah.
All we need is Transformers and make it the 4-piece.
Yeah. Bummer Superman's in the middle of that. Honestly, I hope that doesn't really kill any potential on there, but
I think Superman and Fantastic Four are kind of immune to those kind of factors.
hopefully.
I think the IP and just DC Marvel factor will carry them through like whatever holiday, being smothered in between like other showings, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think for those.
Hey, so speaking of comics, Kels, you'll be happy to hear this. I have
Ooh.
started and made a dent into Invincible.
Oh fuck yeah! How far are you?
Where did I just leave off? Because I read. It's been a few days now. I believe Alan the alien came back
Nice.
after. I think I might be a little off on there, but I'm probably like on volume like 5 or 6, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. It's not. It's crazy like how brutal the fucking show is.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead, I know what to expect. I thought we were gonna get like crazy shit like that in the comics. No, the show like cranks that shit up to like 15, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like the comic was gratuitous for its time, and now they're like, you know what, we can do more. It's like the window has been pushed since Invincible, because at the time Invincible was edgy, but now it's like, yeah, that's not edgy anymore. What's
Yeah.
edgy now?
Dude, holy shit. That it actively boggled me. I'm telling him how I started reading Invincible. So I'm like 5 or 6
Yeah.
volumes into Invincible, and how
Wow, difference, isn't it?
well, I haven't got to any of that yet. The only difference I got so far is how much more tame the comic is, even though it wasn't initially seen as tame, but like the show just got that shit and cranked that up to 15.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like people like, it's like they knew there were gonna be fans watching it, and they're like, okay, they're gonna expect this, but we have to go further.
bro, like the subway scene, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Not even the subway, not even just that. The whole Chicago or whatever is Chicago, I think.
Yeah.
That whole scene in general, if I was a comic fan watching that show, my mind would be fucking melting. Like, holy
Right.
shit, how much like, because they just kind of say it. They're like, they like have a couple crushed like buildings, and like
Yeah.
maybe in like some far panels you might see like people like falling off, but just for like a panel and that's it. But
It's
like,
definitely not as emphasized. Like Mark literally has someone die in his hands trying to save him
Right.
in the show.
and which leads to something.
Right.
But like I thought that the comic was gonna go there, and I'm like, holy shit, no, like that. If I was watching that and watching how that scene went out, it would have blown my fucking mind. I'm like, holy shit, it's actively like even the fucking Guardians of the Globe scene like was the most tame thing ever. It was a
Yeah.
1-page thing, and I can promise you, and I get it though. I put myself in the shoes where I'm like, I can promise you, if you're reading the first volume, you're like, oh, that was kind of a fun little romp, and they mentioned that too. Like, this is kind of a comic for all ages until that happened, and it was like literally just a page turn, everyone's dead, and I was like, oh, but like in the show, it's so much more fucking gruesome and in your face, dude. It's actively wild.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments that like Kirkman's been on record being like, yeah, this is my director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting to do. And it's moments like that that you can really tell. You're like, oh shit, he was not fucking around.
Yeah, no, I keep that in my mind the entire time I'm reading it, because yeah, for sure the show is. I keep on. Is that kind of figured out the show's better than the comic? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
100%
want
so,
I
for
didn't want
sure.
to say anything egregious, but yeah, no, going through, I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, like you mentioned, the mom isn't really too much of a character in there. She
Yeah.
has her moments, but not really. Amber's like a non-entity whatsoever.
Yeah, like you start to notice that too as the story goes further. Like all the female characters are only there in service of like either Mark or one of the other main male characters.
Yeah.
Right, which is a really big common error with male writers, and it
Right.
could be the inverse too.
For sure.
But shout out Stephen King,
But
who
it
just
just
can't
goes to
write women
show-
for the life of him.
Right. Exactly. They're all, yeah. But it just goes to show like how much like he's learned and like developed as a writer and creator, just to see like how far these characters have come now.
I think the Walking Dead
And,
show
and the
really
show.
helped him, honestly. I think
That
him
too.
seeing his comic come to life and like the visceral moments that people have here or there, really do that. Which negative shout outs, if I could, to The Last of Us, because I'm so upset.
Howard just went for it as it was.
I had hopes, man. I had hopes they were gonna like. Sorry, Trey
Ironically,
50's here. My
or-
bad. Okay, yeah, you guys talking to him. Sorry.
No, it's so funny because like you have issues with like how the game was written, and ironically, like now with the show going on, I'm like, I feel like the game did it better.
Yo,
Well,
so
because, like,
okay, look, I'm gonna have the most, because I want to make it clear, I fucking hate that game, but like, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I really want to like it. I just fucking hate it. And
Wait, so I don't think I've ever gotten like, what is there like a specific point that you hate, or like narrative structure? Is there somewhere that you can put your finger on and be like, this is why I hate it?
the pacing, The
Okay.
pacing and the lack of stakes. I had a whole ass argument with someone on Twitter about this yesterday. My biggest two gripes with it are the pacing and there's no stakes, because he was like, the stakes are it's a revenge, and let me and I almost had an epiphany moment where I'm like, am I wrong on this? Because I love John Wick, and John Wick is also a revenge story.
Yeah, but it's two different revenge stories. John Wick is saying, "Hey, revenge is cool."
Yeah,
Last of
he's
Us is
saying,
saying, "Hey,
and also
revenge
we're
isn't
fighting
cool."
for a dog. fuck anyone that killed that, right? But
Yeah.
there is no active stakes to The Last of Us Part 2. Like, you think of stakes, if we're let's say we're the writing team, we made Last of Us 1 amazing. Last of Us 2, okay, so we got to create something big. So the first stakes in the first one were we potentially have the cure for this entire fucking world in this girl, and we're taking her across there, but she's gonna probably die. Okay, big stakes because we grow that connection. What stakes do we have? Well, the biggest stake you can imagine in the story is losing someone. All right, fuck it. Let's just throw that in the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So we lost the person that we would have fought the entire game to get. What are we fighting for? And someone was saying like the stakes are like oh, her emotional stability, her reason for. I'm like, those don't matter, because technically those are not stakes, because you can like recover being here. If she stayed in her place, because also Abby never made a threat like, you guys, I will be back. Or it wasn't some Negan ass shit, right? Where Negan's like, I'm gonna keep coming on all you motherfuckers, right? Abby's like, all right, deuces, I got what I wanted, I'm out. It was like, no, Ellie chased after her. You were as a player had to keep making this dumbass choice to keep going out there and losing your people for what?
Okay, so I get everything you're saying, and I feel the same way, but I think the whole point is that there are no stakes. The whole point is it's stupid, and people do stupid things, and that's kind of what I've gotten from like not only like stands, but from like Neil Druckmann shit and like just people trying to explain it. Is it feels like their whole point is Ellie's an irrational person doing these irrational things for just because revenge makes you do irrational things. It's not, there aren't stakes to be had.
And I want to say, sure, and you know what? I would in a different game, but also like we're talking about survivors in a long-standing apocalypse. Ellie was a survivor.
You're right.
You know, Ellie was a survivor. Tommy was a survivor. Everyone in this world is a survivor. So to tell me that we're gonna throw everything out for revenge and justified revenge though too, right? Like it just really, because like Abby says in front, like you killed my dad.
And I think
Eye for
part
an
of it
eye.
is also-
Like I get it, and I think all the beats of The Last of Us Part 2 are there. Like if you just shuffle them around, I still stand to this day on God himself. If you had started that game, just put Tommy in the place of Joel. Okay, boom. Joel and Ellie are gonna be two chaotic people, right? You could, because they're already mad at each other, but they both love Tommy. They're gonna both go after there. You're gonna find that you can go through with their whole relationship because it's been mangled, right? Which that's the thing too. We get this, like we come from the end of one, which we're like, oh, that's a really rough, a crazy ending. To no, they're mad. They're not talking. Okay, and then you take them away. Like we don't get to soak in that ever. We get soak in it afterwards, but we don't soak in it into it. So imagine that. Tommy's gone. Okay, they're going on there. They're having to rebuild. Okay, eventually they have that breaking point. All right, they have that talk. They're together. Then take Joel away. Cool. Now Ellie's fucked up. Cool. Now Ellie's out there. She's in Seattle. It's like, all right, fuck it. You're there. Go get your revenge now. Because I get it at that point, right? You've made this entire trek out there to get revenge for Tommy. Now you're going to do it for Joel too. Now you get both 2-for-1 offer. But to like tell me that these survivors of this apocalypse who've survived, this is what? Like 20 years into the apocalypse at this point?
I think it's supposed to be 30.
30,
right?
I was
'Cause
about to say
Joel's
30, yeah.
35, and I think
Yeah.
he's like 61 or
And
something.
Joel, yeah, like, and also by the way, Joel being a dumbass saying his name, like that would not happen in the fucking game. Like what the fuck? Dude's a fucking veteran of the fucking game of the apocalypse. You're gonna tell me he's gonna just out his own name like that? No, fuck off. But like they're gonna just like all crumble to pieces like that? No. Like it does not work in my head at all. Like none of these characters have that rationale to do that. It does not make sense.
No, and I was someone that when the script first came out for the game, I thought it was an interesting way to go with
You
it.
thought it was, and I do credit, like I dodged bullets like a motherfucker. I don't know how I dodged all those bullets. But you heard about it. You thought it was ballsy and you were excited to play it.
Yeah, I think part of the disconnect is you're coming at it from the concept of they know that this is an interactive medium. You, the player, have spent all of The Last of Us 1 predominantly piloting Joel. You, the player, should be, in theory, more emotionally invested at the idea of immediately seeing Joel get axed. And that is, I think, where it's also some of like the story design concept is getting lost. Is I feel like they were expecting that to be all the justification because the player should be more engaged with that idea of that happening.
But
Didn't matter if necessarily it makes sense
Sure.
for Ellie's story and growth, but
now let me also take a step further. That's not where my complaint ends though, right? It's like, do I have all those complaints? Yes, but I was playing it still. But oh my god, I did not believe that Naughty Dog would make me play through 10 hours of this game to reset me. Abysmal pacing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I was going through it, and I agree with you, David. Sure, I'll concede to that point. Maybe in a better place, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna chase after her. Put me through 10 hours of this shit to hit me with a cliffhanger and then reset me for another 10 hours to get to that cliffhanger again, and then to keep going afterwards. Because again, they do more dumbass shit, right? It's like, all right, they get done, they fight. All right, Ellie got your ass kicked. Okay. Tommy, a survivor at this point. We got to go back out there.
It's so funny because all these plot points and things that you don't like are the things that I actually do like. So like the whole thing with Joel getting the axe and then us immediately transitioning and playing from Abby's perspective, I enjoy that. I think that's a really cool narrative device, but it's something that the show immediately misses out on because you just can't do that. That's not how television works. They didn't let you live in Abby's shoes. They have her like dump it in the first episode, like everything that happened, why she's looking for Joel, blah 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 blah. And so you just like her motives already laid out. You don't get to like uncover anything. And I think that's what the game really succeeds at. And also the part with Tommy coming back, I think that's a really interesting because you get to see Ellie like she's moved past it, or she presents herself as moving past it, and it's one of those things where Tommy brings her back into it.
Right, and I don't know. It just the characters just don't feel right with that. And I'll say this,
Sure.
I'm saying I think the plot points of that just are there. It just needs to be shuffled around somehow. I even think maybe a cool way to do this, if you really wanted to be like a hard ass like Druckmann and do this story, maybe start The Last of Us Part 2. And I think because they already misdirected everyone, right? They told it like it made you feel like you're gonna play with Joel for a long time. Like they did that. Right. Misdirect everyone and make it feel like it's a whole different story.
Yeah, that would have been really neat if like you started the game as
imagine you start playing as you have no idea Ellie or Joel are in this game. You start playing as Abby. You go through a 10-hour story to realize you just lost your dad to Joel. Now reset.
And then you flip around. Yeah, that actually would have been kind of fun.
Because everyone fucking hates Abby, which is I understand, but like also if you're saying anything stupid, like if your brain is too smooth brain to like discern actress from character, you're an idiot. But it just you don't create any sort of reason for the audience to give weight to that. You make this character come in, nuke one of the main characters of your franchise, which I mean again, and also I have an issue with the fact that it was 7 years from part 1 to part 2, so we never really got to process time with Joel at all, right? So it's like just taking it away right at the beginning. It's like why are we doing this? But anyway, you like let the audience process time and grow to like Abby. Find her the flaws and all that, and then find the reason for her to do this, right? And I think you could have subverted all the audiences by doing that, and really, really kicked them high. There's so many cool things you could have done in The Last of Us Part 2. I just really think they've done everything stupid with it. Like, you went the most opposite directions in those, and again, John Wick, Revenge is fine, but like, I don't know. At least when John Wick is doing it though, John Wick is like. the only potential casualty of his revenge, right? Like he's the worst thing that's gonna happen is he's gonna lose his life. He doesn't give a shit. But like Abby or Ellie's got a whole ass crew with her, right? Like Ellie could lead these people back to like her entire town, right? Like there's just so many things that could go wrong with this.
Yeah, she has mortal attachments.
John Wick is just like, I'm the boogeyman motherfucker. I'll just kill whoever. But like Ellie has like so much stuff attached to her that you're gonna tell me she's gonna like reckless abandon and just like Rambo it up in there. Also, I do have an issue with that in The Last of Us in general as a franchise. I love it, but we act like that's such a major like point when dude was like murking left and right, and they kind of make that point in the games too. Like, dude, just some guy just rolled up in our town and just killed everyone. But like they kind of say it so nonchalantly that it kind of goes over a lot of people's heads. It's like, bro, this dude just Ramboed through an entire fucking like armada. But the doctor is the one we're pissed about. I understand, I guess.
Right.
I
Just one guy.
Right. I'm not gonna watch the show. I watched the parts. I heard that the one thing they made cool was that they made Dina be the one to out them, so that way they gave Tommy some cool moments out there. Cool. I saw how they handled the
The whole thing with that though is it then lightens like that moment later where Tommy comes back to Ellie to try to get her to go back out.
yeah,
It takes away that moment.
because he's a town protector now, right? But he's just like
Right.
and I saw the active moment of that, and I don't know. Also, the one thing I will say, and I Bella Ramsey, I think is still kudos to her. Looks wise, I have to tell the people like the girl they have playing Abby looks like an Ellie.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Like it's so funny. You see Pedro Pascal and I forget the actor's name side by side. It's like, oh, there was that was like character casting, but I think Bella Ramsey still kills a lot of it. So shout out to her.
I do think it's weird that they didn't make Abby like buff.
I think it's just hard to find that kind of actress.
Well, sure, but I mean,
Actors change their physiques for roles all the time.
It's hard.
though.
It's easier for guys. It's
Call
easier
yourself
for
a wrestler.
yeah. Let's get
Call
out.
Rhea Ripley. Get her in.
or I
Fuck
mean,
it.
they're wearing like fucking like long sleeve shirts and shit all the time. Put a little padding in there, you'll be alright.
Anyway,
It's cold.
if you like the show, I'm happy for you. I'm not watching. I am still very upset at this franchise.
Why would you watch this show? There's better shows like Andor that's premiering tonight.
So as someone is not a big Star Wars person, is Andor something I can just kind of watch?
Yep. Andor is season 1, season 2, Rogue One, and those are a lot of people consider Andor and Rogue One like the peak Star Wars.
Rogue One is
And,
fucking
I mean,
incredible.
Rogue
yeah,
One
it-
is
Rogue-
a fucking baller.
Rogue One is great, but I wouldn't call it peak for me. But I mean, that's because Star Wars has like a wide spectrum of shit for people to enjoy now.
Rogue One's just
but
like
yeah.
Halo Reach, dude. It's a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you like Rogue One, you'll love Andor because it literally doesn't require any other watching, but you will get more out of it if you do watch.
Is
Andor.
it is it violent?
Very violent?
Okay, cool. 'Cause
Hell
I was
yeah,
hearing
alright,
people talk
cool.
about Daredevil, and they were like, "All right, get ready for Andor." I'm like, "All right, cool."
Yeah, no, Andor is very brutal. Like people die, and it's just kind of like, yep, that just happened. Next scene.
Love it.
Good shit. All right, I might have to watch that.
I don't know. I want to quit talking about Last of Us because also there's just like there are a lot of really good shows. I want to go watch Shogun still. I've never got through that.
Ooh,
Same.
Shogun was very violent and very good.
Yeah, speaking of that, so I want to go through that. Still got to obviously go through Daredevil. I'm on I'm on episode 3 of the first season.
Nice.
Unironically, every episode is like a really cool episode just to digest on.
No, it really
Like
is.
I want to binge that show, but after every
It's hard
episode,
to binge.
but after every episode, I'm really satisfied.
Yeah, you just have to kind of take a deep breath and like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like I watched episode 2, and there like a lot happened in episode 2, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was doing it. I have a used the girlfriend's walking treadmill, so I was walking while I was playing that. I tried walking while playing Marvel Rivals, did not work out. I did like I tried to do like
Terrible.
I tried to do like a gamer lean in moment. And I started falling over because I was like, all right, some dude's fucking killing me. I gotta get his ass, and I just couldn't handle it. But I was walking while watching Daredevil. But yeah, no, episode 2 was good. I'm way behind you guys, But yeah, I don't know. I'm really liking it, but it's just like the whole backstory with his dad and everything too. You know how it was gonna go down, and you're like, all right, this is good shit. I wish I
Yeah.
watched this earlier because it's really good.
And that goes to something me and David were talking about earlier. It's really unfortunate that Born Again didn't come out like on the heels of season 3, because I think all 3 seasons are fire in their own rights. And
Yeah.
so for there to be that long of a layoff between 3 and 4, really unfortunate that the hype train kind of slowed down.
And it looks like we're beefing it back up though, right? They're already doing 2.
Hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed that it's just full speed ahead from now.
Hopefully we get some in. I know there's some weird Sony rights issues with him though, huh?
Well, no spoilers, but a lot of the stuff that's coming up, it's like it's hard to do without like Spider-Man or like access to that stuff that Sony has access
Yeah,
to.
which
Yeah.
is weird. I hate fucking hate rights issues, right? But it's like how Spider-Man can't show up in a TV show, and then
Yeah, it's so weird.
and then weird
Especially
like
with a villain that is also synonymous with him.
yeah,
Literally in your fucking animated movie that you're doing.
which is cool that we get the animated that just says fuck it to everything, right? They can just do whatever the fuck they
Right.
want. Anyway, anything else on that front? I know I want to watch Sinners. I want to hopefully watch that by next week. I've heard
Yeah, that
really
one does
good
look
things.
really good. That and Thunderbolts are on my need to watch list for this next week.
Is it gonna?
Oh, and fucking Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary is this weekend too. Hype for that too.
Damn, 20 years.
Hell yeah.
I know, it feels it's so weird because like back in the day you had the old heads are like, oh, I watched The Empire Strikes Back when it first came out. Oh, I watched the re-release, and now that's me. It's like I seen Phantom Menace when it came out. I'm seeing the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
God.
I'm the old head. I'm Unc.
Yeah. We're definitely hitting that, dude.
For a wild time.
All right, let's talk about Dave. What'd you get?
Hell yeah. So I got for game stuff.
Oh,
Because I'm gonna
God.
save the non-game thing that I got for last because it's a
I feel
fun
like we
treat.
might have some crossover on this.
We might indeed. We may have a triple a hat trick. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, do we have a hat trick?
So last episode, I talked about how I had all of the Evercade cartridges. I lied to myself because when I went to go put carts away, I saw a numbering disparity, and I freaked initially because these carts were already out of prints, and people were reselling them on eBay for like $100+. And then they immediately dropped reprints finally. So
Oh,
I am now back to having a complete Evercade fucking collection. Dodge that fucking bullet.
God forbid.
God forbid that I ruin I've worked myself into a shoot, as they say at this point, where I memed about collecting everything for Evercade cartridges, and now I'm just stuck doing it. And of course, what we might have as a hat trick is the beauty that is the Lunar collection.
I'll do mine.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, that's a thumbnail right there.
David, just never trust David when something's gonna be out of print or not, though. David's wrong. David's been wrong 100% of the time, by the way.
What are you talking
Got
about?
my
It's
ass.
you literally can't buy this on Amazon right now.
Yeah, you can buy it on VGP for cheaper, actually.
Unironically, though, I've never fucked with these games, and I feel like this is something I'd probably pop in. and
Yeah,
play.
I was gonna grab it
they're
eventually. I
so
don't really
good.
care.
All right, here's the thing. So this fun story time. I might have told this story once on the podcast many moons ago, but I'll tell it again because this is
Many
tethered
looters ago?
into, many years ago. So I actually used to have the first Lunar game, the collector's edition for it on PlayStation 1. And I had everything except for like the hooded statue that was missing from my collector's edition, but I had it. And at the time, it only went for about $60. And a buddy of mine was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to play Lunar." I'm like, "Oh, I could let you borrow it." He's like, "Yeah, but then I'm gonna potentially want to buy it." And he's like, "What if we did a trade?" I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'm down for a game trade, I guess. That way you don't have to spend money potentially." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got a brand new game that came out. You know, it might be something that I think you've said you wanted to play." I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got Fallout 3 over here." I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I've been
remember
wanting
this
to play
story.
Fallout 3." So I traded him my collector's edition of Lunar for Fallout 3, which nowadays the collector's edition of Lunar goes for like $500, and that same Fallout 3 copy goes for $2 right now. So
Get
Yeah.
fucked,
big
nerd.
as fuck me. That
You think
literally one of the dumbest fucking things I
you
ever
think
did
he's
in my
doing a
life.
podcast called The Red Rupees right now, saying this dumbass back in the day?
Fucking dork. Fleeced his ass.
Potentially not. I mean, he was someone that last I was talking to him, he was going into bomb disposal, so he's potentially not
shit.
with us anymore.
My biggest thing with trades was I traded a buddy for what was it? An Xbox version of Munch's Odyssey for Thousand Year Door.
Mm.
And I didn't give a shit about Thousand Year Door, but I was like, all right, whatever, I guess I got it now.
And then the last thing I got is I got a new keyboard, a 70% keyboard. It's the first time in a long time I have not had a 125% keyboard. So it's been weird getting used to the muscle memory of a smaller keyboard. But I got this one because after breaking my last keyboard of 5 years, I was like, I kind of want something repairable. So I went with this model because all of the keys and all of the keystones can be taken out and replaced with new ones. But this has a fun little feature. So currently, if you look, you can see that there's a little display
Jesus,
panel.
you gotta
on
stop
this
moving it
keyboard.
around, dude. You're just shaking that
Sorry.
thing.
If you look, you can see a neat little display panel there that currently shows the date and time. But it's got one other fancy feature that I will show off for you
I
here.
can play xvideos.com. Oh.
Close. There is a GIF setting here. Let's see if I can get it.
It is
And
very close. What the fuck?
I put this on here just for the meme for you, Adrian. So now whenever I want, I can see DSP cranking it on my keyboard.
That's good. That's good shit.
So just for you, Adrian,
Can you have
the
that
meme is
Can you
alive.
have that hotkey to xvideos?
No, sadly you have to like physically like upload one
That's so
GIF at
funny.
a time to it. But yeah, I saw that and me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking do this for the podcast. I'm just gonna have fucking Dark Side Phil cranking it. Let's go.
I forget what keyboard it was. My buddy was telling me about one that it looks so pretty, and it was actually like it had a full display behind the keyboard. And it was a really well built keyboard, like one of those ones that like sells out immediately. Forget what it was called, but it was a really expensive one. But I was so tempted because it looked so pretty. They had like the example one they had was like koi fish. And it was like floating across the keyboard, and all the keys were translucent too.
Oh, it's kind of neat.
It was super slick. But too pricey.
Felt that. Was that all you got, David?
That is all I got.
Kels.
Yep. So that was all me too. Just Lunar,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
little anime game.
Great fucking games.
How are the cutscenes? The cutscenes look really cool.
Yeah, they were really neat. So they originally were released for the Sega CD add-on. And one of the kind of really cool things about it is that they were full anime cutscenes, just complete unique animation for it. And then the game got remixed a bit for the PS1, and the PS1 version's like considered the definitive version. Some people don't like the rewrites that they did to it, but you're never gonna make anyone happy whenever you change anything in something. So
yeah. So, but I boot up the very beginning of it. It looks really good.
gorgeous game, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So I got Lunar. Kel, so I bought Schedule 1. So if you want to play it, let me know.
Oh, okay.
And I
Gotcha, for
also,
sure.
because I had friends request, I bought Repo. I heard good things
Is
about
that
it.
the like Phasmophobia type game?
Yeah.
Party game or whatever?
Yeah. I have buddies that play that, so they wanted me to grab that, so I grabbed that too. If you want to play Schedule 1 though, let me know because I want to boot that up soon.
For sure. I've been so tempted. Like Not what I got, but what I almost got. I almost nabbed Fatal Fury and a game that we'll probably talk about during the news stuff,
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
which I'll probably nab after we get off here.
Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. All right,
Hell yeah.
David, what'd you play?
I have finished getting the Platinum Trophy in Odin Sphere remake.
Congratulations.
Fantastic fucking game. I adore Vanillaware. It was great to fucking play through. Eventually, I'll be going and finishing up Dragon Crown. I never actually finished that game because I played it originally with some friends, and then I just stopped playing co-op with them. So I'm gonna have to eventually go back and just start over and actually play that.
Speaking of friends,
yes,
in 2 weeks, Skype goes down.
hell yeah, end of an era.
I don't know if you're interested, David. I mean, Kels, you're welcome to. I don't know if you want to at all. I did organize one last hurrah with the OG group on for Skype on Saturday night.
This Saturday night?
Yep, the week before.
Yeah. What time you thinking?
I don't know. Depends on. I don't know if these young guns in us have it to go late or not. But I'd probably imagine like 8, 9 your time.
Yeah, throw me down as a tentative yes.
All right. I'm ready to catch some pedophiles and everything on Skype like the old days.
Pedo hunting.
So, David, were you ever in all those calls?
I was in with 2 of them. Yeah.
Kels, did we tell you the story already?
I don't think so. Doesn't sound familiar.
We this is like 2011, so shit, 14 years ago. We would go on this. We found this website called TeenChatCenter.com.
Oh God.
And we would all go in there, and we would post 14F California, and we would like get all these fucking guys like start spamming our shit. And we'd find like some like the old creepy dudes, and we'd invite them to a Skype call. We would change our names. So what was it? Gore was Christina. Samuel was Samantha. I was Adriana. I forget what you had, David. If you had a name.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but I had to go obviously not related to my name because there's no real female version. Fucking David.
Yeah, and then we'd get the guys in there, and then when the guys answer, we just go, "Fuck you, you fucking weirdo!" And one guy got mad. He was like, this guy was like furious, like, "I'm gonna fucking report you guys. Like, we're fucking do it, you fucking creep." And we said some not so great things to them, but also they're weird, so who cares?
Right.
Shout out to Skype.
Hell yeah.
All right, did you play anything else, David?
No, that's all I played.
Kels.
I've been on the same grind, playing Marvel Rivals, and slowly making my way through Hunts and Monster Hunter, and probably gonna be way more distracted now with all these fucking games coming out.
Oh yeah, Expedition 33 too coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately,
my copy just
really
shipped.
weird. They should not have fucked that game. So
It's so weird, right? Because not only that, but they just had a Avowed launch, and you're just gonna shadow drop Oblivion right in between both of them.
Fucking
hey,
ridiculous.
fans of
I've
fans of
heard
that genre
hundreds of hours
are
in that
eating good,
game.
dude. Fans of
Right,
that
I would
genre are
be eating good.
yeah. Not game related. I forgot to mention. I watched Monsters University for the first time.
How was
Really?
it?
What'd you think of it?
It was all right. Not
Yeah,
necessary,
I really
but
enjoyed it.
it was good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really weird that we get like not a sequel to a big movie like that.
yeah. And I'm more okay with. I mean, Monsters. You could do a sequel to it. That's fine.
For sure.
But I'm kind of always lukewarm on just prequels. It's like I don't know how necessary these things are, or like how much you could. Because kind of my same issue is like I feel like the stakes are kind of like a lot lower now because you like kind of know where things end up. But yeah, it was still cute, fun. Didn't have like the big emotional like edges that stuff like Coco or Toy Story have, but good times. My playing's been fucking weird. Okay, so I did doing the Marvel Rival stuff. I'd play a lot of Brotato again. I bought it on the DLC because I guess the DLC is not coming on Switch because the Switch can't handle the Brotato DLC apparently. So I got that on. So I play two different accounts on Xbox and Switch for some reason. I bought some like Geometry Wars ripoff one that's been pretty fun. But I'm playing a lot of this game called Crime Scene Cleaner. You guys see that on Game Pass?
No.
I was perusing through Game Pass, and there's this game called Crime Scene Cleaner, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm always about a power wash kind of game. Let's see what this is. Uh, it's dark as fuck, but it's actually got like an actual like storyline through it too, which is interesting.
Interesting.
You're this like you're this single dad. Your wife passed away and your daughter's really sick, so you're doing a janitor thing and you need to pay money. So like you go in your house, you see like these bills around there and these letters saying, hey, like you're overdue for your daughter's medical payment. And so you take a job with the mob to start cleaning up their crime scenes. And it's so like they'll give you like a preview, like they won't show you because it's definitely a Unity game, you know. But they'll show the window and they'll have like the voice dialogue of what's happening. But like they have like this pizzeria and you just have like this mobs talking, and it's so funny. You get this guy, Big Jim is his name. He's like, hey, yeah, we left you some we had a really bad turnout at the pizzeria. You need to bring your truck for this one. You got a lot of bodies. Some old hag started yelling at us too. Take care of her, please, too. Thank you. And you just go in there and you have to like carry all the bodies out there. You have to find all the bullets. You have to clean the entire place up as best you can. It's so funny. It's so fucked up, but so funny. Just like how and your guys like just get more dry and sarcastic as a way to cope with it too. He's like, ooh, you should have been doing that, buddy. That's not a good look for you, man. Just like it tickles that I need to clean everything look, as you can see around my room, because I started to clean this place a little more. But why
That's cool
clean
they have,
here?
like a sort of like meta story to it at least, and it's not like,
Hmm.
hey, here you are, do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was gonna be like, hey, here's. I thought it was gonna be like like you were like
Just for a cleanup detail almost.
yeah, but instead it's like no, you're trying to hide the details from the police that eventually get there as to what happened. Um, which is interesting. But I'm like 7 or 8 hours into that, I think. I think I'm almost done. I want to say, I don't know, but I'm like 9 missions in though, so hopefully. But that's been interesting. That's it. All right. News. A lot of news.
Hell yeah.
I want to talk about the big drop today.
The prequel to Skyrim.
There's
It
a new Elder
dropped.
Scrolls game.
Yes. 125 gigabizzles of fucking beautiful HD Oblivion.
Dude, I remember I liked Morrowind. Never got into Oblivion, but man, that puts me back because I remember watching on GameSpot TV, Greg Kasavin was doing a 12-hour stream of Oblivion at the midnight launch of it. I remember just tuning in a little bit, just watching him play that. I was like, this is man. And then like Domino's posted on Facebook like it's like said it's time, and they showed them downloading the game. It's like, man, that brings me back to like Oblivion is one of those games that brings you back, even if you didn't play it, just like the time era, you know.
It's funny you say that because like I have a weird core memory from like the Tanami block when they started doing like game reviews, and I remember they did a review for Morrowind on Xbox, and like one of the things where I was like, it'll take you just literal fucking days to walk anywhere. Absolutely ridiculous with the amount of detail in that game. But no, I've always adored the Elder Scrolls series, and Oblivion was my jam. I think Oblivion honestly is my favorite Elder Scrolls game, and I remember not being the keenest on Skyrim when it came out because it just felt like such a oversimplification of a lot of the systems in Elder Scrolls. And so I'm excited for this. I've 100%ed Oblivion on PC, on PS3, on Xbox.
Oh my god. All right, so
I
you're gonna do it again?
I got about 1,000 hours or so between all the versions of Oblivion. So yeah, it's downloaded. I'm gonna go to that. I'm not gonna hop into it right away. It took me like 40 hours to platinum Odin Sphere. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a smaller game break. I'm actually gonna start up South of Midnight next. That
Nice.
game's only like 8 to 10 hours. It looked like. So I'll play through that, and then after that, I'll hop right into fucking Oblivion. I'm
Kels,
so stoked.
big
Crazy.
smile on that guy. He's ready.
Yeah, no, I same as David. Like, well, I guess same as both of you. I played a little bit of Morrowind. Just kind of bounced off of it. I guess I don't know why it didn't stick. But whenever I got my PS3, Oblivion, it was like the Game of the Year edition or whatever, had all the DLC on it. I got that and World at War, and Oblivion was entirely my jam because all my friends were Xbox guys. So I just remember introducing them to and be like, "Hey guys, you don't have to play Halo all day. We have this now. You want to come play another first-person game?" It was really cool. I was that guy that got to introduce a lot of my friends to it, and fond memories there.
But were you the guy that bought the horse armor?
No, I didn't have like online like access until I was but a man.
How we've come back from. Remember how egregious $3 horse skin was, and now we're just spending $20 on booby skins.
Well, it's even
Right.
funnier because on April Fools they would always double the price of the horse armor.
Trey 50 asks, what are you gonna play Oblivion on? Xbox.
Xbox because Game Pass.
Yep.
Probably on Steam. Switch 2 when it comes out.
I've heard that the Linux performance is phenomenal. So
I was gonna
am
say
excited
I
to
am
eventually
very
get it
tempted to
visually.
grab it on Steam to play it on Steam Deck. I feel like that'd be a really good Steam Deck game.
It's not a consistent 30 FPS.
I
does
would not
chug.
expect anything less from Bethesda.
Fair. From what I heard, it does work. It's just it definitely fucking chugs in a lot of places on Steam Deck.
Dang. All right. Switch 2, I guess then, right?
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Our Lord and Savior.
I'm excited though. It seems like it's getting more received. I'm hearing already Twitter posts about the bugs, and I love how it's half and half. We're like, buggy mess. The other half are like, yeah, bugs. Let's go.
If you go into a Bethesda game, I mean, granted they outsource it to a third-party studio to do it, but I mean, still at the end of the day, you can't have an Elder Scrolls game without bugs. That's just not happening.
I feel like that's part of the charm.
I think it's so cool too. Like a lot of what I've been seeing on Twitter is like a lot of old heads like letting people know like the secrets and like the
Hell
little
yeah.
things about like
Sit,
the first thing I
child.
seen- yeah, like the first thing I seen was someone tweeted they were like don't get rid of your cuffs or your shackles at the start.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that is a thing. I forgot all about that. Thanks, guy. I'll bookmark this.
I was talking to some buddies of mine, the ones that I watched WrestleMania with, because we were all speculating on it this weekend in between matches. And that was like one of the fun, because they've only played Skyrim. They haven't played any of the older
It's a
games.
lot of people. Like, it's kind of funny when you think about it. It's like, it's not Elder Scrolls currently. It's the prequel to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's my buddy that's playing the remake now. He's only ever played Skyrim. He didn't play the original, so it's really interesting to see those people circle back
Also,
around to it.
Fantastic idea, I think, from Bethesda at this point. They're so far distance from these Elder Scrolls games that 6 is going to take a long time. It's still far ways off. Do Morrowind too before that. Fuck it.
Well, that's the thing is like I
Fallout
feel
3.
like they're. Oh, good.
Oh, I was gonna say Fallout 3 or do New
Just
Vegas.
remaster
Yeah.
this shit. Like,
Oh man, a New Vegas remaster. Oh, let's fucking go.
I know.
I
I'm
feel like
getting
that's
hard
on the
thinking about
table.
it.
That has to be on the table.
Well, you
But,
think New Vegas 2 would be on the table, but that's not
Fair.
anything else
Did
either.
you see Toys for Bob was out there saying they wanted to do Banjo?
That was gonna be one of the stories
Oh,
I was gonna bring
God,
up
dude.
after this. Yeah.
That'd be like perfect.
It would, which means it's not going to happen.
No, they gotta keep working on Tony Hawk's and FPS games.
Toys for Bob. And remember shouts when they were Skylanders.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they
Uh,
were one of the lucky ones, right? They got like released from their Activision deal for Microsoft.
Yeah,
They're
Microsoft let
like
them
their
go.
own.
yeah.
Yeah, they're their own thing again.
Yeah, I
And for
love
them
that. They're
to
like,
like want
all
to come
right, we're
back.
out. But hey, Microsoft, Banjo,
Yeah.
Banjo. That's like breaking up with your ex. Like, want to fuck still?
Again, rewind a
Hey,
bit.
you wrote.
Rewind a bit. Could you imagine knowing you have Toys for Bob right there that could have done something with fucking Banjo when you have a fucking character going into Smash?
I can't imagine in general not having something lined up for when Nintendo approaches you about your fucking character that you've let dormant for what, since 2008?
Yeah.
And even if you
Texas.
didn't have anything currently in the works, like slap some shit together. Be like, okay, this is happening. You can
Dude,
slap something together to like
remaster
launch
Banjo
alongside it.
Kazooie. Fuck it. Like,
Yeah, make an announcement. Hey, so and so, we're doing this now
yeah, I'm just,
alongside.
I will never not be flabbergasted. Like, they know, like, motherfucker, they know. They know I like people like us will old heads will buy that shit. Like Banjo obviously, like, it wasn't a meme, right? Like, it did really well. The fact that it got Nintendo's attention enough to like put them in Smash.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's just like they but I know Microsoft's thing is they don't like to tell people what to do. They just let people pick their projects, which again, we mentioned it at some point, but like, if I'm Microsoft, I'm gonna put like an incentive, like a bounty on this. Hey, pick whatever you guys want, first and foremost, but bonus 100K to anyone that wants this IP.
Or
Yeah,
make it a
we'll fund
mandatory
the
every
next
other game.
Not mandatory, I think, because at that point, that's you're gonna start getting the people that are like begrudgingly making games, you know. But I think just offer bonuses to people that want to take a certain IP. No one's
See, I
grabbing.
think
No one's
that
grabbing that.
some IPs wouldn't happen unless you be like, okay, look, you get to do. We will fund whatever it takes for you to make your dream game, but the next game's got to be X. You
You gotta walk a
have some
line. You gotta walk a line
transparency
with
like
that though, because you don't want some team just like nuking it for the sake of it. You know, you don't want some what's an example of some team just siphoning back out like Aliens, Colonial Marines with Borderlands. You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyone here play Crash Forest Trade 50?
Not yet. I
What time
wanted
is
to, and then all the
9:03
shit with
p.m.?
that. It's 9:03 p.m. Then all the shit with Activision started to bubbling to light when all the hype cycle for that happened. So
Hey, we live in a post Bobby Kotick era now, David.
it's true, but you know what? I still don't like what's going on with some of the Activision properties. Because let's talk about this real quick. This was a crossover that no one fucking asked for, and I'm mad happened.
Me too.
So Diablo 4 is getting some fucking Berserk DLC.
They're gonna talk about the WWE costumes in Fortnite.
No, because no
Because
one
I do
cares.
want
That's
those.
actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no interest in being the Undertaker or Cody Rhodes in any game that isn't a fucking WWE game. So maybe an AEW game would be hilarious. See Undertaker in a fucking AEW game, but no, absolutely fucking wild and unnecessary to see fucking Berserk in Diablo. And I really hope this isn't the start of a trend of just seeing Berserk licensed out to a lot of things.
Well, not only that, but it just kind of goes to show like how much more of a lifeless husk Diablo is than we thought. It just kind of goes to show like Diablo 2 was a standalone game, didn't need any of the crossover appeal to kind of set its flag and as like the preemptive ARPG, and now we get this like bastardized version of Diablo.
I mean, it also I feel like it's just where I am in life. I'll be honest, if it was 13-year-old me seeing fucking Berserk coming into Diablo, yeah, I probably real talk would have been fucking hyped by that.
Yeah.
But in a post Murray death, seeing Berserk just being used as a fucking licensed property to make money, I hate it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Oh, and I guess Nosferatu Zod is in Diablo Immortal, so it's in both games, not just 4.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know. Crossovers are really funky sometimes. I feel like it works in some games really, really well, but other games it's like you're kind of killing a lot of your lore.
Yeah. I think there's a time and a place, and
Diablo's so rich
that's
and
just about
everything.
it.
Why are we reaching anything else, right? There's just so much you could do with Diablo.
Yeah, I seen a meme. It was like, wow, Guts made it into Diablo before Diablo made it into Diablo.
There you go.
Because Diablo, spoiler alert, Diablo's not even in Diablo 4. You're dealing with, I think, Mephisto at this moment. I think,
Oh,
or was it
Mephisto came back
Baal?
around.
I think that's where the story was going. I haven't played through the expansion, so I have no clue what the fuck's happened since.
Gotcha. So
David,
yeah,
you can talk about how nothing happened to the near live stream.
yeah. Nothing really came of the near live stream.
Which they mentioned apparently,
we
by
got
the way.
merch. Yeah, they apparently did say don't expect anything, but at the same time, still sad to see. I hope we do get something for the fucking 50th anniversary. It'd be wild not to, especially again considering the insane high that the fucking gaming community is in for something new with Nier.
I ended up watching the Sad Futaba legacy videos again, just about all that stuff, and that was fun.
I'm hoping. I know it's not going to happen, but I hope that maybe one day we get an offline version of Reincarnation.
Not happening.
I know it won't happen. I know that's a pipe dream,
Yep.
but
And brother, you missed a good time. I think it was a gotcha for sure. Gameplay wasn't amazing, but holy shit, that ending. Mwah.
luckily you still can play through it. Someone has recreated the game for web browsers, so you can't go back and play it that way.
I'd say if you can, you should just do it. I think the ending payoff is if you like Persona 5 Royals ending, you'll get a kick out of this one. That's all I'll say.
I do intend to find some time to kind of carve through that, but I know that's going to be a grind. But yeah, so that was a nothing burger. Speaking of companies that produce nothing burgers, let's talk about Limited Run real quick. So we had a new fucking expose come out about Limited Run. I sent it to you two fine gentlemen. Did you two skim through that at all?
I did.
I did not yet. Tell me about it.
All right, so this video has come out talking about a lot more directly about the actual inner workings of Limited Run. The guy interviewed previous employees and some current ones that obviously are staying anonymous, and it's fucking wild. So Josh, the owner of Limited Run, the video talks a lot about how he built up the company intentionally as just a corporatized version of being a scalping company. About how a lot of everything with the company has been explicitly engineered to maximize monetization off of scalpers. About there's been some projects they wanted to do, like they were talking about doing like a Willy Wonka-esque golden ticket kind of thing, where they would have like these stupid expensive kind of giveaways. But they knew that if they hedged their bets, most people weren't going to open the boxes anyway, so they could get away with just saying, "Oh yeah, like there's tickets out there. There's X amount of tickets," but knowingly only print a couple of them, and then everyone else just gets a sorry, you didn't win, and they would never get found out because fuck it, no one was opening the boxes anyways. But even that was
Monopoly,
seen
McDonald's.
as too scummy by the rest of the employees that got shot down. They talked about how so many games were being reprinted that they just never admitted to publicly because, and I quote, Josh said that it doesn't matter because they don't release sales numbers anyway, so who's going to call them on it? But like one of the prime examples they gave was like Night Trap was one they just kept infinitely reprinting. And again, no one initially called them on it because who's fucking noticing, but they never bothered to change like any of the labeling. So there were some people that were noticing that there was copies of the game in the wild with the same version number that they had, and were like, wait a second, why is that there? There was a lot of HR issues, an insane, disgusting amount of people reporting. Exactly. Like genuinely, there's two employees that were in the executive level that were just fucking heinous individuals. But Josh was protecting them to the point where anytime someone complained to HR, HR actually would just tell people, well, we have to talk with Josh on what we can do about this. So there was no protection for the employees. HR was just like, well, we can't do anything. The owner of the company has to be the one to deal with this. And he never did anything. It's fucking insane. Just the level of disgusting shit that Limited Run has been doing behind the scenes. And even with some of those recent stuff with printing games on CDRs, a lot of that was because Josh actually just, again, during conferences, outright admitted it's
People were
gonna
gonna
be
play
cheaper
him.
to do it. Yeah, people aren't gonna play him, so who cares? That he outright was just saying during recorded meetings that he's like, yeah, no one's gonna play him, so it doesn't matter. You know, no, there's not gonna be a big enough stink about it. Also, by doing it on CDRs, it would just save the company money. So that was always the plan. They knew that it wasn't a good quality method to go through, and I guess he wanted to do it in the past. He was wanting to do it for years now and never got the okay because there were still enough people in the company to try and sway him away from it. But because of all the HR issues, people just left. He was like, "All right, fuck it, we're doing it my way, 100% now." There were two other big things that went over in the video. One was the insane amount of embezzling of company funds. Josh has basically used company funds to buy his old house and to buy his old car to use as company assets, even though they've literally never used those things for the company. And in fact, he ended up renting out his old house to one of the other employees. So he was earning money from renting the house that he sold to the company, double dipping on getting money for that. Absolutely fucking disgusting, absolutely heinous. Um, Fucking, there was like one other thing that was a big thing they talked about that's escaping my brain right now. But it's just fucking heinous the amount of disgusting shit that was going on behind the scenes with Limited Run. So fully further, not I have already stopped buying Limited Run shit when the D stuff happened. That was my breaking point, my final straw, and I
They
haven't
gave you the
bought
D, but
anything.
you got the D that you wanted.
Exactly. And that was my final straw for me. And I genuinely haven't bought anything Limited Run since then. And holy fuck, after seeing all that shit, I will actively go out of my way to tell anyone that'll listen to not fucking deal with them either because it's insanely. Oh, that was the other thing is he has like a really disgusting childish way of how he handles business. So he got into like a pissing contest with I am 8-bit and he still holds it to this day. And it all has to do with Scott Pilgrim. So he was going ahead and trying to get the rights to do that. And originally, I am 8-bit was supposed to get the rights to it. And what ended up happening is Ubisoft liked the idea of working with Limited Run, but Anamanaguchi and Brian O'Malley more so like the idea of working with I am 8-bit. And so what ended up swaying things was Josh ended up basically lying to Anamanaguchi about a bunch of shit, like how he would help them get their vinyl record rights back and how he would basically undercut I am 8-bit to the point of they would end up losing money on sales of the game entirely in order to just not allow I am 8-bit to get it. And it all stemmed from the fact that Josh gave business advice to the owner of I am 8-bit, and I am 8-bit stole a contract out from under Limited Run with that advice he gave him. Basically, like, no, personal slight against me, always going to handle it. And that's basically how he handles every business thing to the point where even at conventions that were being held for the kind of companies to kind of go and talk to different vendors and whatnot, like every company just wanted nothing to do with Limited Run because Josh was such a childish piece of shit at all these events.
It doesn't make sense because they all keep siding with them.
The big corporations like it because it has the most name recognition, and that's basically it.
Shots I am 8-bit. Love that. Love those guys. Good
Yeah,
guys.
love them. Go get their new releases that they have on pre-order.
Yeah, they had that Cuphead one that I was wanting actually a while back, so I might grab that. Yeah. I mean, I think I've purchased one or two things. What was I bought the Alan Wake collector's edition from there. Uh, didn't want to, but I mean, gonna support that however I can. Well, I really wanted that Dead Space helmet, but even with their discount, it's like way too fucking much for that helmet. Now, fuck that. But
Yeah.
ultimately, um, yeah, that company. I mean, I've been on that track for a while of like, I don't really care about them too much. I'm a big fan earlier on, but like, too pricey. And yeah, it makes sense they're doing all that nonsense because they don't really help the scalper issues.
No, they're designed around enforcing the scalper issues, if anything.
They could like if they get the rights like that easily, they could easily just issue a reprint, but they're not gonna because it devalues their stuff.
No, they do. They actively reprint the shit all the time.
No.
They just don't say anything. That was part of all that this video was talking about. Is they constantly reprint a lot of their.
But
games
do they
and just don't
reprint
say anything.
those and put them up on eBay? Is that the thing you're saying?
They'll either put them up on eBay or they resell them through other markets quietly. So like a lot of the Best Buy stock is originally stuff that was just constantly being reprinted.
What was that? Was them reselling on eBay thing too? They confirmed.
Yeah, that was a big thing of it with it. Yeah.
They'll buy from scalpers.
I mean, when it's a limited product, you would think in theory that's your only option.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in general the idea of a limited run is also a little silly though. I don't know. I'm on both ends of it. I get it, but also don't.
No, I agree. I think in the whole idea of a limited run is it's anti-consumer. It's designed explicitly for FOMO, and it's not in the spirit of preservation, which is what they've always.
The alternative
presented
was
themselves as.
these games are literally never going to be on physical otherwise. So get
Yeah.
it here. But we can only afford this many because it was a small company. That was kind of what the idea was. And now it's like, no, they've gotten big enough and they have open pre-orders, but also, which open pre-orders, that's the only bone I'll ever throw limited run is that they did go from the 2000 limited to like open pre-orders, which is good, but also still.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean, right? Open pre-orders, you can just order, and that could be a thing too. They're ordering whatever they want. Anyways.
So you're not getting high on life on the Switch?
Unfortunately.
I wouldn't get it at all anyways.
Just making sure.
He says is unfortunately I do have it on Steam just because of a Humble Bundle, but
you know what I really want to buy? I really want to buy that Silent Hill 2 jacket.
Right.
James jacket.
Email for it.
Yeah. it's a clean looking jacket. Honestly, that's something I would just actively wear. So I'm thinking about it. If it's there for my next couple paychecks, maybe.
Yeah, and those fuckers almost got me with the Doom and Doom 2 package, but I was like, I have one that's just like all the original ones on like one cart.
Yeah.
And that was from limited run as well. And now they're selling Doom 1 and Doom 2 on.
Yeah.
Well, those original ones don't actually have them fully on cart. They require internet connection to fully play them.
Not the one. There's the Legacy Edition that has them all, and then there's the 1, 2, and 3 that they're all.
Oh, okay. They did a different version at one point.
Yep. They did the 1, 2, and 3, and then the Legacy one is like a new one that I think it was like Amazon or some shit.
Gotcha.
But this one does have Sigil 1 and 2, I think, on it, so that could be a thing.
Did I ever show this? I don't think I ever showed this actually. Oh shit. I got this like a month or two ago. I forgot about this. I'll show you guys.
What are you doing?
Got my new Spider-Punk helmet.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, also does the cool little eye pop out trick, so I can get away with that. I have more headspace in here now, luckily, but it sacrifices for the back. My head's still definitely bigger, so I need to insert some elastic bands. But excited to bust this thing out. I need to start hitting the gym so I can start getting some better fitting clothes. Because holy shit, I definitely just fast food's just too easy to get sometimes, dude. It's unfortunate.
It's true.
Get home from work and you're like, I don't want to cook.
Felt that.
Yeah. Anything else we got on the docket?
No, started off talking about the two other big things, so I don't have anything else on my reserve list.
You see Elon Musk is stepping back from Doge.
Yeah. And
Of course.
supposedly Trump is walking back already on the Chinese tariffs.
Good.
And
Like walking back
we
in a good way or walking back in a bad
yeah,
way?
walking back, he apparently just a couple hours ago put out a statement that he's going to be greatly reducing the tariffs against China. And in the same conversation, it was talked about how we even haven't even started negotiations yet. So good job.
Yeah.
We haven't even got to the negotiating table, and your plan is already so terrible. You have to stop it.
Well, the thing is, even if like everything reverts and it's back to how it was like months ago, the cat's already out of the bag, right? Like
Yeah.
prices don't just go down. You've given these companies a reason to raise the prices now. They're not gonna all of a sudden be like, okay,
But also, aren't some of
sorry.
those deals like the China with Australia with the meat thing already just?
Yeah, that's the thing now is China's already been talking to like literally every other country.
Yeah,
Like, all right,
they
how can we get
like Trump just
alternatives?
fucked everything, and he's like, oh, my bad, and there's like, no, you already fucked it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, go ahead and say sorry, but we've already made other plans.
Yeah, and then Musk is walking back Doge saying it'll allow him to focus on Tesla because Tesla's getting fucked right now. Because go figure, you talk shit on the only type of people that buy your shit because these other guys are not giving up their gas trucks for you, dude.
No, only if you're giving it to them for free.
Yeah. Which is we had to do some walkthroughs, just not like evaluative, but which also bugs. So I'm going 40 different places. We did for our work, we did walkthroughs. We just visited other classrooms just to see what they had going on. I'm so annoyed because they surprised me with them both times, and it's like literally they hit me on a movie day and a makeup day. I'm like, I'm not doing anything today. I did get one evaluation when we were playing. What were we playing? The Beginner's Guide. That happened a few weeks ago. We played the Beginner's Guide and killed that lesson, dude. Like he's new for our school, so he's kind of getting to know us. But he walked in and he was like just impressed. He's like, I've never seen anyone use video games like that. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Using all those video games, dude. What we're doing these days. Any chance I can play the Beginner's Guide. Love it. I'm still going to make you play it again because I feel like I want David to like that game.
It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna like it.
I don't know. I'm curious because I feel like that one could have been one for you. But what was your issue with it again?
I thought it was honestly very meandering, just not really well conceived, and that honestly, at the end of the day, I get the message of it, but goddamn, did it present it in a really shitty and fucking over exaggerated way.
Interesting. See, I
Just
thought
everything about it fucking sucked. Hated it.
I thought he would. That might have been one of the more rare misses on my end because I feel like he would have got it. But again, that was an issue. I remember specifically explaining that game to David afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I get it now." So I feel like sometimes there's games with David that I can get him to like it, but I have to give him the precursory knowledge ahead of time to be like, "Hey, go in and tune your brain this way, and you'll like it a lot more."
Yeah, but that's the thing is like it's how to phrase it. I can appreciate something better when seeing it from a different lens. It doesn't devalue the concept that you still presented your product as is, and it still failed to resonate. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. I just know recontextualizing it sometimes just helps you.
Fair.
But yeah, did that. Oh, I was saying that. The reason why I said that was we walked in on one of the social studies teachers, and he's great. But man, it's really hard being a social studies teacher because you have, especially a government teacher, because you have to really be non-biased. You have to really be unbiased during that. And we literally walked in the first, like one of the, like within the first 5 words during, because he was lecturing. Within, out the gate, open the door, and then Elon Musk, and we're like, oh fuck, and we're all English teachers. So we're like, all right, let's hear what we got to say. Did talk about approval ratings for everyone, including Trump and all that, and it was like, yeah, shout out to him. He was killing it. Like he was doing really good at being non-biased. And he has to on his table side filing cabinet. He has like bumper stickers for all the presidential nominees. So you got orange names in there a couple times, which is annoying. But I mean, again, you got to be unbiased when it comes to that stuff. Especially as a government teacher, you cannot be biased. You will get in trouble so quick. Shout out to them.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. We wrap. We gonna let Kels go play Oblivion now. Hey, look at his dog wants to play
real
Oblivion right
quick.
now.
Yeah,
That
Before he
dog is
goes
like
play-
that dog is looking like he wants to play Oblivion right now.
it's a bro Oblivion.
All right, here's a fun clip. We talked about this during the wrestling segment, but watch this man just smash into the fan barricade on an ATV.
Oh.
Why is it just showing me an image? The fuck?
Yeah, he tries to back it up and shit too.
Yeah, he fucked the steering column on it.
How hard did he hit it? Oh, it's
He was whipping it around. man.
Yeah, the dude was like whipping and spinning around, fucking doing donuts around the ring when he came fucking pelting in like that. And we were talking about this, but the TLDR is he almost basically hit a woman in the audience that was already hit with a piece of debris earlier in the night.
how much are tickets to WrestleMania? Those have to be expensive as shit.
Front row seats are a couple tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, very pricey.
How much for like a nosebleed?
The average price of WrestleMania tickets is $400.
Yeah, I seen a picture there. Someone was up in the nosebleeds, took a picture. Like, this is my $400 seat at WrestleMania.
They make so much fucking money.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's 2-night tickets though, right? Not that it really
No, each night
each night is a separate ticket. That's
Yep.
$800 seat.
Yeah.
That's insanity, dude. They make so much money. No wonder I'd be having WrestleManias every other day. All right, go
Yeah,
back
no
home.
wonder they made it a 2-night event.
Yeah, go back home. Go kiss your wife goodbye again, because come back out for WrestleMania 47. Oh man, that's crazy. I was looking at random tickets for things. Like I saw the Kendrick set list for his tour right now. I'm like, dude, I was looking around. I'm like, is there any place nearby that's playing on a weekend? And there's not. And I'm like, fuck, because it's a killer ass set list. Lady Gaga is added some new tour dates that are kind of feasible, but fortunately some of them clash with some of the Aquabats dates, and I'm like, fuck. I'd rather stay at home and not travel for as much as I can over the summer.
Reasonable.
You're doing Aquabats, Kelsey said?
I think I might end up doing it.
You
Yeah,
should.
because they're at a venue I really like. So might as
Absolutely.
well go.
Please
There's
do.
a really
It's
cool bar attached.
so fun. Such a fun show. I'm trying to get as many people as I can to go to some of the shows. What was I looking at? I want to go to Nine Inch Nails this year if I could. Trying to see where they play at. I think they're doing Colorado, one that I might hit.
Red Rocks.
Not Red Rocks, unfortunately. I wish.
Mm.
I've never been to Red Rocks still. I want to make it, but every time I see it, every time a show that I like wants to go there, it's sold out like right away.
I think my buddy seen Gorillas there, and he said it was really good.
That sounds fantastic.
Be incredible. Are you familiar with Nine Inch Nails, Kels?
Oh yeah.
They played at Red
You mean
Rocks.
the Tron guys.
Yeah, dude, I'm so in. You can't pander to me harder than being like, "Hey, Tron with Daft Punk. All right, you got me. You do that, Tron. You can't do it again without Daft Punk. With Nine Inch Nails. All right, you got me. All right.
I was very trepidatious about it until that trailer, and then they start kicking in the music. Like, oh, okay, they got it.
Yeah,
This is kind of like going more into like the cyberpunk, like heavy synth vibe, and I'm all about that. Let's
Yeah.
go.
but you almost like there was almost like I think I above anyone else. I don't know if there's another artist / band or whatever you want to call them that you could have replaced Daft Punk with that would make me go like, okay, I get it. I think Nine Inch Nails was literally the only one you could have gone with, and that's great. But at Red Rocks, I think it was a Red Rocks performance. They played The Perfect Drug for the first time a few years ago. Oh man, dude, I rewatched that video. I wish I was there because I rewatch that video every once in a while. And they play it for the first couple seconds, and you just hear people in the crowd go, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" It's such a good time, dude. Also, I love when students finally realize I'm a Gorillaz fan. Like, I don't know how they just don't notice, but they'll like look at my wallpaper every once in a while, or they'll see something like, "You listen to Gorillaz?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do. Are you kidding me?" And that's when I go like, "All right, children." One of the best concert moments was they had their festival in LA in 2018, and that's when they had Noel Gallagher come out there and they played Song 2. I'm like, that was one of the top concert moments of my life, dude. Holy shit. Oh, last thing on the news we should kind of say is that Switch 2 is retaining its retail price, but some accessories are going up.
Womp womp.
Interesting.
Yeah, so $449. I still stand by that fact that that's not a bad price for that console.
No. I
The
think also I guess the Pro controller, they made it to where the new one charges twice as fast.
Yep, twice as fast.
It's still supposed to be like a 40-hour average battery.
Dude, the battery life
Realistic drift.
battery life on those Switch Pro controllers are fucking incredible.
That's how I feel about the Elite controller too. Like the Elite and the Switch Pro controllers.
The
batteries
Elite
are ridiculous.
does not drain out that much. I play that with the controller a lot, and I just have not charged in a hot minute. And I'm like, and there's times where I'm like, I just should charge this because I feel like it's getting close to it, but it just hasn't given me a notification at all.
That's what I do. Like I'll get done with like an extensive gaming session. I'm like, wait, I don't even remember the last time I charged this thing. I need to plug it in.
But yeah, that Pro controller, and you know what, the Wii U Pro controller also had a fucking, I think that was an 80-hour battery life.
It was insane.
Jesus.
Yeah, it didn't, because it didn't really have any of the gimmicks, right? I don't think did it vibrate?
No, it was just a straight up controller, basically.
I forget if it vibrated, but
It had some vibration, but it wasn't like a strong vibration.
because yeah,
It was
the
just
Switch
there.
one has like the NFC and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
no, the Wii U Pro controller was just like straight up just a controller, and yeah, that shit, you could have played through all of Xenoblade Chronicles and not charge that shit. Like, that was insane. I hate the stick placement of that still. The stick placement was always funky, but
No, it's great. It's like PlayStation. It's beautiful.
it's not.
It's the way it should be. Symmetry is the way
Does
of
it make
life.
sense?
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes.
Hold an SNES controller in your hands right now.
Do I not have any of mine?
I was say he's so proud to flex that.
No, shit. I don't have any my SNES controller.
Okay, do you have an NES controller back there?
Not there, but it should have one.
Genesis
in-
controller?
Oh well, yeah, I got a Genesis controller hanging right here. Nope.
Motherfucker has
I got a
14,000
Genesis
controllers.
controller right here.
Okay.
All right.
Symmetry. On your left hand, what does that control for a character?
Well, the D-pad, because that was the only option back
I don't give a
then.
shit. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. On the D-pad, what does that usually do for a character? What does it do to that character?
Move.
Okay, and then your right
Get out
hand,
the way.
it usually does what with the characters? Does the actions, right?
Everything else, yeah.
Therefore, thumbstick on left hand, buttons on right hand. That is how I am.
No.
Yes, shut the fuck up.
No, because D-pad still moves characters in many games, and D-pad.
How
is
often?
better
The
than-
fuck?
You play fighting games, you know how often.
I'm not playing a controller like that. The fuck?
No. I have no problem playing.
Every other game I play,
Absolutely not. No.
every game I
This
play,
is beautiful. This is wonderful. Anytime, because also, anytime you're playing a game and you're moving, you got beautiful symmetry. These just work in harmony and tandem, and then they go up and do other things when you need them to. Or when you're playing a game that the D-pad still also moves, then you have that classic style of like bam.
the D-pad
Otherwise than
is
that,
so
You're playing
inconsequential to
Beautiful.
the majority of games these days.
the majority of games you play, maybe, but not the ones I play.
RPGs use the D-pad a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Maybe
Yeah.
fighting game players just need to grow the fuck up and get a stick, okay?
I agree.
I have sticks. I'm still waiting on my octopus one to come in, but no.
And that's another thing you almost conned me on.
No, they're shipping.
No.
But,
Action,
no,
action, and movement should be on the same plane. That's
No.
how I've learned. I'm sorry you're not a retro gamer, David. I know you
No.
started. You're kind of a new age gamer. You gotta play. You know, you started.
Again,
You started
if you're
on
talking
the. I
about
know
it being on the same plane, all your movement
you
is
started on the
down
PS2.
here.
I get it, David.
Asymmetry.
David started on the PS2. I get it. Us old heads, you know, the ones that actually have played games since before this modern time, we know that action and movement goes in the same plane.
Yeah, back
No,
in my day,
all your
the
movement
joystick
is
had
down
its
here.
own,
All
like,
your
section
action
in
is
the
up
middle.
here.
Why would all my
Symmetry.
movement need to be below the action?
Because these are your movement. This is symmetry. This is harmony. Your ability to move and look is all in tandem right here. Not, I don't know, I'm going to fucking weirdly move and it's symmetry. It works
Symmetry
beautifully.
is action and movement
No,
on the same plane.
symmetry is my movement is all here. I am moving and looking around in the same plane.
If you're playing a
That is
platformer,
symmetry.
how's it gonna hold, David?
You're playing a platformer, you're using the D-pad.
No, the 3D platformer.
Yes. Yeah. A 3D platformer, then again, you're still requiring being able to look around and move at the same time. You need that symmetry.
No,
You're
you
gonna
don't.
line up and look as you're doing
Actions, David.
it. And then
Actions and
2D
movement.
platformers, you're gonna be using the D-pad.
I bet
because
you
who
also
the
play
fuck-
inverted, you fucking weirdo.
No, that's gross. Again, symmetry.
No, doesn't work out that way, David.
It is exactly how that
Nope.
works.
And I'm glad that the majority of people don't do that. Shout outs to Switch and Xbox for getting it.
No. that's
They
gross.
understand. Nintendo's like, we'll try it the weird symmetry way you fucking losers want it, and then they said, yeah, that was weird. Let's be on the more successful console and do the more successful controller, the right way.
Absolutely not. It's gross. I
Mm.
hate it.
I'm glad you hate it more for me. That was the Boost Podcast episode number 293. You don't deserve this. Kel, send us out.
Make sure to wipe your ass after you poop.
Bidets, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do both because you gotta dry it up a little bit back there.
Right,
You can't just have
exactly.
fucking dripping ass everywhere.
I mean, you could, but no one wants that.
Yeah, no one wants to fucking actually step in your fucking sweaty ass juice that you just fucking drip down.
Thanks for listening. Travis, they get from Rowan, you might get run over by Stone Cold.
Hell yeah.
No, it's completely true. And hopefully, I kind of want that lady to sue the shit out.
Why
Oh,
not?
100%.
Yeah, get your fucking money. Get chase the bag.
Again, she's in the front row, so she was paying literally tens of thousands of dollars to be there.
Yep, you earned that.
And that's just the tickets, not even the hotels or anything else.
Or medical bills.
Yeah. Fucking Christ.
So you see that guy that well, it happened a while ago, I think, but there was some guy that was like laying on a bench for a second, then got up, and I guess when the neighbors thought he was being a homeless guy, just sleeping on the bench, so they come and said, "You know, now he's like, I'm just looking at the sunrise." They're like, "All right, well, you're coming with us," and they arrested him, so he just sued him and got $10,000 that way. I'm like, oh, dude,
Hell yeah.
take me.
Right.
It
Where's
should
my
have been
come up?
me.
Should have been me. All right, you guys go enjoy Oblivion. Dave, I know you're doing it later.
All right.
Cal, let's go have fun.
Yes, sir.
Adios.
Bye.
See ya.